Ladies and gentlemen, welcome for another edition. Well, welcome to another edition of CKMY. Was this the third time I think we've done this now?
Yep.
They're awesome shows. So, as I said before on the old Tatters, this is my favourite show to do at 2:00 in the morning on a Saturday. So, and joining me today, as always, in no particular order, just as they are on screen, we have a Don from m.o.d.o.k.
What's up?
The man, the myth, the chef. If you haven't seen it yet, go after this, go back and check out his latest show where he cooks in his back garden, does a nice barbecue in his back garden. So he's celebrating with a beer now. And also with me, as always, is Mike from Rogue Comics.
Hello.
And lover of all things Gambit.
You know, it's already been a rough week. Let's not go there.
All right. Okay.
Oh man.
And also joining me, looking better than ever, is Comic Book Bob.
What's up, guys? Why's my camera off? Yeah, there you go.
No, he's ruined it now. He's ruined it now.
Come on, man. You know this is the money maker.
It's a haymaker.
What's up, everybody?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Anyway,
What's up?
I think we've just scared off the audience now. Bob, turn it off. I'm not going to mention anything. Right. And yeah, welcome to episode 3 of CKMY, where we get 3 amazing comic book nerds, geeks, enthusiasts, manga followers, and we just chat the shit about what's coming out, what they're buying, what they want to get, what's on their wish lists. And hey, yo, Troy, how you doing, man? And I'm still upset with you saying that fucking the nerd was better than me. I think you're lying there. I seriously think you need to stop drinking so much. Oh, and Spencer's in the house as well. We've got a couple of people here. Right, and yeah, before we went live, we were actually talking about some unfortunate accidents either we have suffered or other people have inflicted on us with unfortunate losses. And we have established that my family are idiots. They threw away thousands of pounds worth of POS stuff. A load of stuff got burnt, given away. Mike just moved all his into a shop.
Actually, I had a couple pipe bursts.
Oh, no.
Dude, that's gotta suck, man, when something like that happens, like act of God, and it's just like now, do you get insured for that, man?
Do what?
Now, is there like insurance for that? Like you get like
I think you could, yeah, but I'm not that organized. I mean, I'm not organized at all, so.
Oh, mate, that's rotten.
That's rough.
Yeah, that's right. Dude, that's gotta suck, man. Because I know it's
it's bad. Actually,
yeah.
So, like, I mean, it's rough on level. Was it like your personal stock, or was it like your business?
Twice
stock?
my personal, once in the store. In fact, I lost the 60-inch TV I had up there. It literally was coming in because there's apartments upstairs, but the way it's configured outside, there's like a gap, and I guess it was like during the winter time, so there was snow up there, and I guess it had melted or something like that, and then all the water was coming through the ceiling. It literally was dripping down into the store.
Oh,
yeah. And I have the TV hanging off the ceiling, and it literally went onto the TV and shorted it out.
Oh,
that's insane.
Terrible.
So wait, your store is like underneath apartments?
Yeah, there are apartments upstairs too. Like the store, the store that I'm in, it runs the entire length of the block of the street, from one corner to the next.
Wow.
And there's apartments above it too. But yeah.
I mean, I've been in districts like that. I'm like, oh, that looks cool. That's kind of like interesting. But now I know like there's a downside to that.
Well, I mean, if you have it structured, like, you know, if you have everything the way it's supposed to be structured, then perhaps you wouldn't have water leaking through the ceiling. You know, I'm sure it's a, you know, if you know what I mean. If you have someone that's responsible enough to, you know,
your landlord and whatnot.
Yeah. You said it, not me. Yes, absolutely.
Yes. I'm outside of wall, so I can get it.
Yes. But yeah, so it is what it is.
That sucks when it happens, though, man.
Oh yeah. And to like, for at least for the store to file the claim for insurance, it wouldn't have panned out. Like even including the TV and all the boxes that I lost and all that. It just wasn't like there's a minimum or something, and then it's weird. I'm like, you know what, whatever. I'm just gonna keep swimming.
Just keep swimming. Yep. That's all you can do, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. But on a less depressing note, some good comics came out this week.
It did. What did you buy, Bob?
I didn't buy anything because I didn't go to the store yet.
Bob, you're letting me down, Bob. You're letting me down.
But, he is, man. He is. I mean, I would say what Mike bought, but he'll say I bought 50 copies of this, 100 copies of that, 10 copies of this, and I've got 11 left because somebody gave me one because I didn't want it anymore.
Well, see, here's the thing that bothers me. I mean, and I guess it's a personal thing, and I try to get over it. Like there were some girls that came into the store today, and one of them was looking for something like Saga, and I'm like, well, first of all, there's nothing like Saga at all. Yeah. Nor will there ever be again. And I hope Brian Vaughn eventually gets off his ass and decides he's going to finish it.
In 2 years, man.
Dude, I'm telling you. But I don't like recommending something that I'm not sure about, or something that I haven't read or I don't know. And like they came in today and I'm like, well, I have had customers say the Luna Brothers, I think it was like Sword or something like that, was good. The art's okay. But there was she was looking for like things to get in the ground floor and like Saga, and I couldn't even, I mean, there was like Wind, but Wind is just like it's like it's got like the fantasy aspects to it, but it's not adult,
it's just Saga covers so many different genres.
Yes
so it's like if you want to go with like some of the fantasy stuff with like a little bit of like the monster type stuff, like Monstrous would cover that, but it doesn't cover any of the cyber stuff.
That's the book her friend was getting. But I can't, like when people come in asking me for recommendations or whatever, I have to make sure that I know what it's about. Cause I can't, like, you'll never, I mean, maybe to Adon, if Adon came in here looking for a good book, I'd recommend like a Rob Liefeld, book to him. But other people, I would never recommend a Rob Liefeld book to ever, unless I hated them, or they came in with like a Gambit t-shirt or something. Then I'd be like, oh my God, you got to try this like Snake Eyes book. It's
you would recommend the one that you don't like. Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, cause it's like, like you said, man, there isn't another book that's like Saga. Like there are other books that have elements of it, like Rat Queens or Fables and stuff like that. But there's just nothing
reminds me back in my day when I worked in retail for like Blockbuster Video. I would have similar questions like, hey, do you have something like this? And in the same situation, I'm like, nah, none that are good like that one. And then I'd be like I have like a imaginary questionnaire in my head. I'm like, listen, you're not going to get what you want. That like just asking like that. Tell me what you enjoy and let's go from there. And then like, I feel like I wanted to like make a list for those people and just like, here, fill this out, come back to me later and I will have a suggestion for you. And then we will do this. I should have done that. That would have been great.
Oh, yeah. You want a recommendation? Fill out this personality test first.
Oh, yeah, I would have. I would have, because I was that guy who would like into retail. Like, it's like, what are you looking for? Well, it had a guy in it. Well, that's
thanks for hardening the target.
Yeah,
exactly. You narrowed this down so well. It's like, well, it was like set in the woods. I'm like, all right, now we're getting somewhere.
Yeah, we're getting
that's only 98% now. So,
oh man,
and he had a red headband on.
I was like, you were this close to saying looking like a man.
God dang.
That's right. Cuts over here.
But so what did you guys pick up this week?
Well, let's start with you, Mike. It's like, did you get? I gotta ask, did you get the Ronin, last Ronin 3?
Last Ronin? Oh yeah, that was last week. Yeah.
Came in last week for you because I remember you were saying like, it's like I believes it.
Oh yeah. No, yeah. I opened the box. There were books that had the cover. I opened it up. It was actually there were turtles in there. So yeah, it did come out, and it sold out too.
Oh, it sold out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I have some
how long?
Way.
How long did it take? to sell out?
By the end of Wednesday, by the end of the night.
Damn.
I'd say about 3 hours, 4 hours.
This tells me like the market in his area versus mine. Like, because I went today, and it was still there.
Nice. Yeah.
They had like I don't know if they bought like a huge ton, but they had like stacks. And
it's possible because I mean there was a variant cover. Actually, I think there might have been 2 to it. But
yeah, I didn't get the
wanted to,
variant.
yeah.
Or is this the word? No, I don't think this is the variant.
No, that's the main.
Yeah, I'm comfortable with the main. The main still looks pretty good.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah,
great
no,
I didn't
definitely.
see the variant.
I almost always pick up just like the regular cover. Unless the artist who's doing the variant is like someone I'm really, really, really into.
Mm-hmm.
I just think it's like, it's I'm still that guy that thinks variant covers should only be done for like special occasions or something, like if a book breaks like a sales record or something.
Yeah.
Or if it's like a special second printing or something like that,
or
that.
It's like 100th edition, or what I mean, it's a milestone event kind of thing.
Or like a special occasion, like the masquerade ball.
The Hellfire.
Sorry, hold on. Mr. Producer, do I have the power to kick people on this Zoom meeting here?
Okay, so all right, you mentioned that. Let me ask you guys a question.
Oh God!
No, because supposedly.
Oh,
jeez.
Oh my word!
Supposedly, Kirkman's the other. You know how we've been talking about, like we've been waiting for the other shoe to drop, right?
Yeah.
About the whole like Nimrod storyline like that. Supposedly, that's going to start with the last issue of the Hellfire Gala, because supposedly there's going to be a murder.
Well, right, yeah, and then goes into the trial of Magneto.
Right. Well, one of the things that they've said is they think that the murder is going to be Krakoa itself.
Ooh.
And I'm thinking that that's going to lead. I'm thinking if that's what happens, then that's going to lead into the whole thing with Destiny and Mystique,
and
where she told her to burn it all down.
Mm-hmm.
And all this. So if they do that, I might be willing to give him a pass for this freaking Gala thing.
Well, did you read X-Men number 20 last week?
I
haven't picked up my comics yet. Like I said, I'm
you're from last week?
Yeah. No, dude, I haven't been to the comics book shop in like 2.5 weeks.
He's behind.
No, dude, I've worked so much overtime in the last 2 weeks. It's ridiculous.
Well, reading that, you'll think that whatever dungeon Hickman was chained to, he actually escaped and was able to write an issue of X-Men, because it's really good.
It's back to form,
really
hopefully.
good.
How did that get through the QA testers?
And 21 is this week too. So
yeah.
But
I'm guardedly optimistic.
Well, I mean, why wouldn't you enjoy a book that also features an appearance by Eminem apparently somewhere around
really?
Here? I don't. Yeah, there was a guest list. I forgot who it was, but
if he's not rapping on those pages, it's not worth it.
Even care.
Is he dressed up as Robin like he did in that music video he's from donkeys years ago? Was it the Guess Who's Back again?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yes,
like,
yeah.
Was it one
Real
of the
Slim Shady, whatever it was?
I'm trying to remember the people that were on the list. Like George R.R. Martin was on there, and
they put double doors in.
And Patton Oswalt. I was like, why would George R.R. Martin be going to a fashion show?
Because he wants to. He's trying to procrastinate from finishing Game of Thrones, I guess. They also have a. I don't know if you can see it's a Claremont. No, can't really see it that well. It's a Claremont John Bolton story, and I'm imagining. I guess it's from Classic X-Men, maybe, perhaps.
I'll have to take a look at it when I get it.
But that's what's in this half of the Marauders, which I think is the first chapter. But I mean, at least that was good. Like, so
yeah,
there was something good.
Is Segovia still doing the artwork?
No.
Oh no, I'm thinking of Hellions.
I saw Hellions with the Masquerade Ball, and I was like, I'm passing.
Yeah. I mean, I'll pick it as long as he's doing the internal art. I'll pick it up because I'm a big fan of his. But
the art's not bad in this, and there is an exchange between Professor X and Reed Richards that I kind of liked. And I wonder if that's going to set anything up. But no,
did Reed call him a dick?
Matteo Lolli, Lolli.
Mm-hmm.
But he's the one that did the art. This though, getting away from Krakoa, if you ever wanted to have every single, like, you know how like Claremont used to do like the dangling threads that he would always like leave, you know, in X-Men, and Spencer has kind of been doing something similar, and he just takes all of them and crams them all into this issue. Like there's at least like probably 30 to like 60 different plots that he introduces into this story, which I think starts with the Chameleon.
Yeah.
But
Chameleon is one of those villains that if you really wanted to, you could do some really nasty stuff with him.
I think that's where it's headed. That's where it's headed.
Good then, because he's a sick dude too.
But like I said, it's literally, I mean, there's way too much story in there, like way, and not even, let me not say story, because story would mean like it has a beginning and it goes straight to the end. This one here, there's tangents that are woven into it, and it's like, dude, can you just tell like one, like the Chameleon thing, like, you know, the thing that we're here for, instead of all these other things.
So he's trying to do Hickman, but he's not Hickman.
Yes. Yeah.
That'd be a pretty good explanation. He's trying to do Hickman, but he's not Hickman.
And if you've been reading it, I mean, it's even not as good as what, like, because when Hickman's doing his thing, like it works, but like this just doesn't work.
Yeah, Nick Spencer's one of those guys that he's always been hit or miss for me.
Yeah, and I mean, he's not, for me, he's not as good as Dan Slott was, because I enjoyed Dan Slott's Amazing Spider-Man and Superior Spider-Man, unlike other people, I guess. But yeah, Spencer wasn't. But this came out too, and I haven't read any of this yet. I did like the Steve McNiven first, the Alpha that came out. That was like about a month ago, I think, because they were doing like tie-ins up until this, but now they finally started the War of Bounty Hunter things. And I guess it's over.
Is that Lionel? Is that the Lionel you cover? Or I can't tell. It's a little blurry.
No, actually, I think it says McNiven.
Is it McNiven? Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
But Luke Ross does the art on the inside interiors, and it's not bad. It's not bad. I mean, it's not McNiven, but
yeah,
you know, I mean, at least you got one issue of McNiven in there. But yeah, there's a lot of Boba Fett stuff in here. So, because it does, I mean, he is one of the main driving. But yeah, here's a, see this. Yeah, art's not bad. I mean, and it doesn't look like.
Sorry, I was going to say it doesn't look terrible.
Yeah, no. Yeah. It's serviceable. Yeah. And I mean, because I know Luke Ross's name, but I can't think of the stuff that he's done in the past. But that looks a little more cartoony than what I think he's done in the past, because I remember him being more of a like Ron Garney type artist, that type of thing. But yeah, this I don't really care about, but I do like the cover, and of course the series is going to be starting this Wednesday, and they also made a poster of this too.
So what do you think about the rumor that they're saying that Loki was mind controlled?
Well, no, see,
films?
That was a thing that somebody posted a year or two ago. That's been around since like 2018, 2019.
Yeah, I thought there was an article where somebody said that it was confirmed or something. I was like, if that's the case, then they just ruined everything about the character.
Yeah, no, that was that was one of those outrage bombs that people throw out there, so people can have something to be you know, get their little
look at that cover, man.
Jim Lee, dude.
God,
Jim Lee. And actually, not for nothing.
I respect the Lee, man.
Not for nothing. The other covers too are just as good as this. They're like, I mean, I'm fine with the story. I mean, for me, honestly, and I get into this argument because I have a couple people that come to my store that are Tom King, like acolytes. And I tell them, like, this book here is a quicker read than like Strange Adventures or Rorschach, because like for that, I mean, I'm familiar with the Batman universe, so it's not really that hard for me to follow like different timelines and all this other stuff. But like Rorschach and Strange Adventures, you know, I want to sit there and be immersed in it. And, you know, but they're like, oh no, this is the longest read. I'm like, you guys are crazy. You're smoking crack. Like this is really a quick read, but it's not bad. But
I mean, it's like, have you tried reading his Batman stuff? I mean, good Lord, that's 10 times longer.
oh, I know. Oh,
Good
speaking
Lord.
of,
Yeah,
Yes.
dude.
Jimenez.
Is Tinian still? He's not leaving the book anytime soon, is he?
I hope not, but
Because someone
Who knows?
said that they were talking about he was looking at another project. And I was like, you better not. He just
Well,
got here.
you mean like this? Because
Yeah.
DC also dropped this, which apparently it's a horror story.
Mhm.
Well, clearly because all the skeletons on the
I
cover.
saw
Yeah.
that. And I didn't even think about picking it up.
Oh,
Same
really?
Here. Same
I mean,
here.
I'm a big horror fan too. I think I must have just glazed over it.
There was also I didn't feel like grabbing it, but there was also a Conjuring comic that came out this week too.
I saw that too. But
Yeah.
I despise the Warners. So
Yeah. Well, I don't mind the Warren. I just don't like the Conjuring. But the art in here is pretty good. I like it.
that kind of reminds me of like some old school throwback art. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. And that's the entirety of the book. So it's by a new guy, Alvaro Martinez Bueno. So but yeah, those were the standouts. I mean, there were some other ones, but like Noctera, which hasn't been bad. That's by Spencer. I mean, sorry, not Spencer, Snyder. Got me thinking Spencer. Scott Snyder.
I mentioned Noctera last week or last time we were here, and on that note, I gotta give respect. I grabbed it. I grabbed all 3 issues,
Nice.
and I like it.
Did you get the glow in the dark one for issue number 1?
No, I didn't get that one. I grabbed what was on shelf at the time, and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna get that one. So
Yeah,
I didn't know they have a
issue,
glow in the dark.
Each issue they've done like 3 or 4 different covers, and then they had like second printings and stuff. But yeah, and also same thing with Geiger. Have you seen Geiger?
No.
That's by Jeff Johns and Gary Frank.
Oh yeah. I think I've got that in my pull list.
Okay.
That book is Gary Frank's artwork is awesome.
Oh god, dude,
Awesome.
That guy's easily one of the top 3 artists working today, I think.
Oh yeah. And I love, and I think I said this last time too, I love that when he draws Superman, he draws him Christopher Reeve.
Yep.
Love it.
Yeah. It's and that's the guy whose art, like if you've been following comics for a long time, you see some of these guys, like some of them will stay consistent the same throughout their entire career, but some guys just evolve.
Yeah.
And like when he took over, I remember when he took over for the Hulk after Dale Keown left, and it was almost like he was trying to do a softer version of Dale's art. But then as time went on, and like it was about what? It's when he started doing Squadron Supreme, I think, is when his art really changed.
Yeah.
And he started developing into that style he has now. And now I think he's one of the best artists out there. It's amazing.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they keep they're doing that Heroes Reborn thing to because I guess Jason Aaron has the thing for Squadron Supreme, but you know, last issue
Heroes Reborn. I was like,
it's weekly, and last issue had James I can't pronounce Stucco. He also did Orphan, was it Orphan and the Five Ninja? It's something, but his art, he also did Godzilla Goes to Hell. And his art is very detailed. It's in the like Art Adams. Like it would be like, what if you crossed Art Adams with Sergio Aragones and just let him go crazy? And it's really good. But I don't know why he was doing Heroes Reborn, but that issue was drawn really well.
Yeah. But no, yeah, like let's see what I'm trying to remember what I have in my pull list here. I know I have Hellions, I know I have X-Men. I think I have Man-Bat.
Oh yeah, that came out this week too.
Yeah.
Did
Liam Sharp do the cover for that?
That I don't know.
Because I remember when I saw that, I was like, man, that looks a lot like his stuff. Which speaking of Liam Sharp, have you guys seen his Kickstarter?
No.
He's doing an art book, and it looks freaking amazing.
Oh really?
Yeah. Let me see. I'm gonna pull up the link to that. It's called Encore, and it's super, dude. It's crazy successful. It's like raised over $100,000 already.
Damn, nice.
And I mean, I'm gonna drop the link in the
Well, see, I know they did a Kickstarter for Noctera. They did a Kickstarter for Berserker.
Yeah, I actually backed the Berserker and the Noctera.
So, what? Explain like in the simplest way possible. I mean, you don't own a store, do you, Bob?
No.
Oh.
I've worked in one before, but
they're on 117K. Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, dude, it's he actually went on Twitter today and he put out a thing. He's blown away. The guy was almost in tears. So.
Yeah. Wow.
What was your question, Mike?
I don't know how Kickstarter would work for a retailer because they have the books on there, and I don't think it would follow like the Diamond model or something like that, or Lunar or whatever.
The way that I understand it, the way that it works is they get when they kicked it was for the first issue, and they get like a special like for the people that back, because the whole idea is that they're trying to fund the creation of the book, and then then the distributor, and then they distribute it, and the distributor puts it out after that. My understanding is that it's they get like a special version of the first issue with like a gallery in it and stuff like that, and like a different cover. They get a bunch of little perks, some swag and stuff like that to the people who back it. So
do you pay for it when you commit to backing it, or?
Yeah. When you buy a book off of either like Kickstarter or Indiegogo or something like that, you buy whatever pledge tier that you're looking to buy. Normally it's between $20 and $35, and then you get some special stuff with it and everything. And then that version of the book is never printed again. Like the people who back it, you get something special for backing the creation of it. But the people, like, you have to go into it with the mindset of you're not backing it to buy a product, you're backing it to back a project that you think is worth creating. Because a lot of people have backed it thinking that and then the book gets printed and they're like, well, what the hell's going on? You funded this book, now you're putting it out there for everybody else. So it's not that they're the only ones getting the book. It's that you're funding the creation of the book.
Well, see, because I mean, like, there's some people. I mean, because I'm unfortunately a fan first, so there's some people that I like. I see, and I'm like, I want to have their stuff in my store. And because in fact there was a book. It wasn't so much. I think it was Cullen Bunn, maybe. And but it was for the artist, because the artist was the guy that worked on the Boom book Red Mother, and I really like his stuff, even though I have a sneaking suspicion it's mostly computer, which kind of hurts my soul. But they had a Kickstarter, and I asked them, I'm like, I have a store, I want to sell, have it at my store, and they're like, oh yeah, we have a retailer thing or whatever. But I didn't know like do I pay for it now, or because the thing that bugs me about that is that Rob Liefeld had a Kickstarter for Brigade. What was it, like 10 years ago? And still hasn't delivered. Got the money, but still hasn't delivered. So, I don't really.
I think he partially delivered it, but there's like, there's all kinds of like, a lot of people are like, where's my damn book? And he's like, I don't know. So
I created Deadpool.
Yeah.
But
the way it works is that if you buy like the distributor tier, which is usually like 10 or 20 copies of the book, however much, you pay for it up front, and then when the book gets fulfilled, they send you your books. Whenever people do that, I'm like, if I were a retailer, I would not back a book from a first-time person if they had a tier like that, because I see for every book that gets fulfilled on time, half a dozen don't, and for every book that gets for all those books that do get fulfilled, a handful of them never fulfilled. So it's a risk. But if it's a project, the way I look at it, if it's a project that you believe in, if it's a person that has had multiple campaigns and they've fulfilled every time, that's the kind of thing I would, if as a retailer, I wouldn't have a problem. I would be okay go back in something like that. because you're taking much less of a risk.
Right. Yeah.
You know.
And definitely, I mean, because having 10 years to finish a book, I mean, especially the way Liefeld draws, that's ridiculous.
Yeah. Like there's a book that I want to get. It's do you remember Fairy Quest?
Yeah.
From the new one of that the book 3 of that is on Indiegogo right now. And it's Umberto Ramos wasn't able to do the artwork for it this time, but Mike Bowden took over. And man, he's channeling friggin' Umberto, and it's just a beautiful book, man. Oh, yeah. It's absolutely freaking gorgeous. But like that book, I'll back a book like that. But a lot of campaigns, man, I look at the person, I'm like, this person's like, if they're trying to do something unrealistic, I'm like, I can't pull the trigger on that.
Yeah.
You know. Like if they're doing like the book's going to be 160 pages and it's going to be out in 6 months, and I'm like, pass. You ain't gonna make that in 6 months, man. But no, it's kind of buyer. It is kind of buyer beware. But like I said, there are certain like you could kind of tell which campaign is going to be successful and which ones aren't. And and from my understanding, like for instance, that Liam Sharp book that we were just talking about, the art's done. Like it's that's a good a good piece of information to put out there, especially if you're trying to build up confidence in it. It's like art's done, book is ready to go. All we got to do is like finalize it and print it, get it to the printer and get that sucker done, and it's out.
Yeah.
You know, so, and you're seeing a lot more indie books are being done like that, where they're like, we'll promote the thing when it's almost done.
That's the way to do it. Yeah.
But yeah, man, that freaking thing. But I wanted to throw that out there. Check out that link and check out that book, man. Liam Sharp's one of those guys that I've been following his art forever. And,
so guys, link is in the chat. Go check it out. I'll retweet that. I'll retweet that after the show's over. So thank you for sharing that, because support your independent creators as far as I'm concerned, be it over here on YouTube. So, you want to support us, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, share this out with your friends, tell people, tell your friends, tell your enemies. Because to be honest with you, if you hate it, tell your enemies so they suffer with you. And by the way, just to clarify, it was Sumit Kumar did the Man Bat.
Okay.
Cover.
Okay. Yeah.
Is it number 5 or whatever it is that's coming out?
Yeah. It's issue 5.
So it was him. But I noticed that Don's getting itchy because he bought a shed ton of stuff to share with us. And personally, I think he's just been sitting there reading them.
Well, I was filtering through like ones that
making sure you hadn't got any of those other magazines mixed in there by accident. Yeah,
exactly. Never get the wrong ones in there. So no, as we were saying before we came on live, like we were discussing about a lot of stuff, and one of the things was like I stopped by my store and I bought a crap ton. I like to buy the bundles because it's like Christmas for me. I don't know what I'm gonna get. And I don't know if you do bundles, Mike.
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah.
Okay, so like my store, they'll do like $6 or $7. You get like 10 books, and I just like walked in. I'm like, I'll look at the front, and they'll like the last front one, and I'll be like, okay, I'll get this bundle, and I grabbed a crap ton. But then I also get ones that are not in the bundle. So I was gonna ask a couple questions. Like one, I got Ultra Mega, number 1. You're familiar with this one.
You'll like it if you like anime and all that other like Japanese stuff. Yeah, you'll like that.
Like just looking at the cover, and I was like,
wow,
it looks like a knockoff Ultraman.
I just had Ultraman vibes.
Yeah. Which I'm like, but then you get the back, and I'm like, okay.
I think that's the 3rd printing of issue number 1. But yeah, each time they do a printing. An additional printing, they do a different cover, and it looks just as cool as the first.
Nice.
Yeah.
They had number 2, and I was like, I'll wait. And I'll get number 1, feel it out. So I wanted to
You
know.
see, I have a problem with that. I'd have to buy. If there was more than one. If I bought the first one, I would feel obligated. It's the same with me and books. If I buy a book and it turns out the actual series is crap, even if it's a good author, but that particular series is crap, I will still end up having to buy number 2 and number 3 just so I have the complete set.
That's what we call OCD.
More.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or compulsive disorder.
Yeah. See, you're the reason why they keep putting, like, a lot of companies will keep putting out shit because you keep buying it.
We got this green guy that keeps.
It's all for him.
We got this green guy that keeps buying our crap, dude. Let's keep putting it out.
Hey, man, I support my local stores.
Well,
I don't do the online shopping thing.
Oh yeah, no, I don't understand it. Well, no, I won't even get into that. But yes, yeah, no.
Yeah. But anyway, so sorry. It just bugged me when you said I saw number 2 and I just didn't pick it up. I'm thinking, I would have had to.
I was like, I'm sure I can get it from them. But here's this one. I already have this one, but this was I was surprised to find it in the bundle because this was the very first comic that I remember owning. And I got this from my brother. He, like, when I was a kid, I had trouble reading, so he would have me read his comic books aloud. And if I could read through the entire book aloud to him, he would give me the book. And that was the first series I actually owned as a kid. And I was surprised.
Your brother was awesome, man.
Oh yes, but he never made me read the really, really awesome ones. But
it's because he didn't want to lose them.
Here's a throwaway issue. Read this,
bitch. That's mine.
As I was starting to get good at reading them, I'm like, oh. No, but that's awesome that I found that in the mix. I got a lot of futures end in here, like in these bundles. But like I got like number 1 Wonder Woman future end.
Okay, I remember that.
Is that the lenticular?
The holographic?
Yeah.
Okay.
When they actually did them right.
Yeah.
No.
Then I got Green Lantern number 1 for Future's End.
Cool.
That was in there. Let's see. I got like piles of these comics on my side, so I'll just like throw these over.
Nice.
Superman number 9 from back in 1987.
John Byrne,
baby.
And like
look at that, man.
Yeah, man.
I'm a big John Byrne fan.
I love that.
Yeah.
And then, of course, I already have this issue.
Supreme number 1. Wow.
Yes. Image Comics version of Superman, who still is like overpowered in comparison to like if you thought Omni-Man, for those who are not familiar, if you thought Omni-Man was OP, this guy rigid.
Well, he's supreme. That's why.
That character, I remember when that character came out. Because I'm one of those guys. I gravitate more towards the street level characters. You know, like there's this, like some of the cosmic level characters stuff. Some of them are okay. Like I've always liked Thor for some reason. I don't know why.
And then you got into Supreme.
But then I saw that. I read that. I got that first issue of the book. I was like, who's gonna fight this guy? This dude's like, he's not pushing planets. He's like flicking them with his finger. It's just like. It's like that was Rob Liefeld just basically going, "Oh, you got Superman? Well, my guy can smack him with his nuts." So,
now, granted, this is volume 2, not the volume 1, because I believe in volume 2 they retconned his past because, like,
oh my god,
I think it was Alan Moore, right?
Yeah,
Alan Moore.
Yeah. That was the thing about the Image books too, man. Is like they redid characters so many times that it got so convoluted. I mean, how many times did Todd McFarlane change Spawn's backstory? Like 3 or 4 times.
Here's the funny thing, though. I remember, if I remember correctly, like they retconned him so much for Supreme, not as much as Spawn, but they retconned him to the point that his power became that he was aware that he's in a comic book. Like he became Deadpool basically. For Supreme. Like, but he wasn't crazy because of it. It was just insane. But you're right. Image Comics is notorious for this record.
I remember one issue, and a lot of that book was like a lot of Rob Liefeld taking shots at like Marvel and DC, because in that book he not only beats Thor, like he created, like, because Thor is a you could use.
He made his own version of Thor.
He made his own version of Thor, because Thor is like a public domain character as long as you don't infringe upon the appearance. And Supreme beats him like he's nothing and takes his hammer. So he's walking around for like the next, like, I don't know how many issues with Thor's hammer. It's like he doesn't even need it. He just has it.
Mm-hmm.
So
I remember it was like for several issues he had Thor's hammer.
He was just like, why?
It was unnecessary.
Yeah.
I can't articulate and put into so many words how much I hate Rob Liefeld. I truly. And I had an editor.
Let's find out how badly do you hate him. You can only remove one from existence, him or Gambit. Which one do you pick?
Ooh.
And the other one becomes the top selling of all time.
Just remember, one will eventually die no matter what.
but his work will always stay.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll put him on the spot now, folks. I'm sorry about that.
I would have to.
I love that he's struggling.
I know. That was, oh, come on.
It's like, how much do I want to suffer?
I'd have to say Liefeld.
Really?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Damn, dude. I actually met him. Yeah, he was actually really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just
in fairness, he's talking about his work and
dude, trust me. Dude, for the longest time I was like, I can't stand this shit.
Yeah. Now, unless Mike comes in like, he may have been nice to you, but I met him this one time.
I don't have a story about him, but I do have a story about McFarlane. But the thing I was going to say about Liefeld was that I had an editor from DC that worked in the 80s around the time of The Watchmen and all that stuff. And he was the editor on Hawk and Dove, which was Liefeld's first book. And apparently
I had that.
The plan was they were going to have him, and I'm not saying this as a dig to him, but they were going to have him go to art school to, get better, hone his craft and all that stuff. And for each of the issues, I don't know exactly who was the editor-in-chief at Marvel at the time, but for each of the issues that he did, after every issue came out, that person, whoever it was, would come up to him and say, "Hey, Rob, why don't you come to Marvel? Why don't you come to Marvel?" He's like, "No." He's like, "I'm happy at DC. I'm working on characters I like, that kind of thing, whatever." And, they're going to help pay for, schooling and stuff like that. And so issue number 2 would come out. Same thing happened when the 5th issue finally dropped. The dude came over. He's like, "Hey, come to Marvel." He went, no training, no art, no nothing, just went straight over there. And it just makes me wonder, like, had he had training, who knows what he would have been.
If you look at his early DC stuff, some of it was very different from what he did in Marvel.
Oh yeah.
I'm talking proportion, like he still had the same finishing style, but his proportions and everything were more in line with standard
normal humans. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
But then he went over there, and when he went over there, it was all about being dynamic. Everything else,
extreme. Everything had to be extreme.
Everything else was just kicked to the curb.
Yeah.
I feel like
and I'll be honest,
told him like we'll give you more free reign to have your own flair of style.
Well, dude, how old was he then? Like, wasn't he in his teens? Like late teens?
Like 19, dude.
Yeah.
Like
Jesus.
Like whether you like him, you just like him, you gotta look at that and be like, look, the dude was 19 years old. I think back to when I was 19, I was a dumbass.
What do you mean you were?
No, bro, trust me, worse than anything I could possibly be now. So
God damn.
Making like any kind of like issues or making mistakes or any kind of attitudes, like I gotta kind of give him a little bit of a pass on that because he was just a kid. And if you're a kid and everyone's telling you you're the best things in sliced bread, you're not going to argue with them.
And he also hitched his train to Tom McFarlane and Jim Lee. I think out of all of them, to be honest with you, I think only Todd was the one that really had a problem with Marvel. Like the other guys went, but I don't think they, because
business for them.
Yeah. And when you have like Todd saying that, working at Marvel was akin to working on a plantation, like I'm like, yeah, you clearly have issues with that, dude.
Yeah, there was. Don't get me wrong. I definitely think that Marvel took advantage of artists of their creative like their writers and their
they have
artists.
never, Bob, what are you talking about? Comic book industry always rewards the creators.
Yeah,
they pay them fair, they give them insurance, they're all well taken care of. I don't know what you're talking about. Why are you trying to propagate
there's
this
never
false
been
narrative?
there's been a guy who's never
all.
been taken care of.
Yeah,
for
no,
working
Alan
in comics.
Moore, he didn't watch. He's like, you know what? You guys take the rights. I'm good. I don't need it.
yeah.
Yeah, no, yeah.
No, I think what it was though is that they were looking at all the money that was being made, and they were like, why aren't we getting a bigger piece of it?
Hmm?
You know,
Rightfully so.
And that's what I'm talking about.
But then again, see, but this is what they need to understand. You're working for the company.
That's I understand. I understand as well. Yeah.
But they did
right. Well, yeah, I think that, and I think that's where the big issue came from. Is they signed on, and like you said, they were paid. Like you talk. I don't even think Todd argued that they weren't getting paid well. But he said like they're paying me for my art, and then they're taking my art and they're doing other stuff with it, and I'm not getting any of that.
Or he doesn't get a say.
Well, not even. I think it all came down to the fact that Marvel was making more money off of their artwork, and they weren't giving them any of it, because like they would put their stuff on T-shirts and on toys and stuff like that.
Right.
And they didn't get any
notebooks,
of that.
Stickers, cards, trading cards.
And they didn't get any of that. And I think he was salty that they didn't get a piece.
There's nothing wrong with that. Definitely feel that way, because that's right. But if at the time, I'm sure the contracts weren't the way they are now, because now everybody.
And I think if they had not done Image, I don't think I eventually I think the way they do contracts now, I think that would have happened eventually anyway. Just because more and more people who were artists and were writers eventually took up executive positions in comics, and they would bring that thinking and everything with them. But I think it happened a lot faster because of the Image guys.
Yeah,
because Image happened. I think when they did that, like the company went, okay, well, we've got to change some of this draconic stuff.
Oh, definitely.
Wasn't there a documentary where like Stan Lee was like looking at like the artists in Image Comics, or like I don't know. Yeah, there was a documentary where Stan Lee was talking about comic book artists and whatnot, and he visited like Todd McFarlane and whatnot.
Yeah, there was the thing with him and Rob, I think it was.
Yeah, but they did the videos, right?
Yeah.
The actual art videos. It was Todd, Rob, and Jim.
And then I remember Stan Lee making fun of them for drawing like their body proportions.
Yeah, Stan was getting his little digs in. Yeah.
The only one,
none of them liked it.
Yeah, the only one who he didn't do that to was Jim.
Jim
Lee, like I said,
Jim,
respect that Lee.
like because I actually owned those videos. And the Jim Lee one was my favorite, because Jim Lee was always my favorite artist. And like you could, the body language and everything is completely different. In that video than it is with Rob and with Todd. So you could tell, like, because you got to remember at the time, Stan was still he was still connected with Marvel.
Absolutely.
When they did those, and especially like a little bit, like he got some digs in on Rob, but he was really kind of going hard with Todd. And I think that stems from what we were just talking about, where Todd McFarlane was talking about like working for Marvel was like the end of the universe. And I think Stan kind of like took some digs at him. He's like, well, maybe if you were a little bit better at this or better at that, maybe then that would have happened.
Well, Todd, the guy that owned the store before me, he knew nothing about comics. And right after 9/11, they decided to have this event. I think it was Marvel and Image and perhaps Dark Horse, maybe. I guess they were going to talk about how, the recovery and all that was going to affect the comics or something, or because at that time Marvel and DC were both still in New York. And the owner, he didn't want to go. And I'm like, well, dude, I'll go. So we went there, and it was both for the retailers, and it was also to raise money for the first responders and stuff like that, and the people that lost people in the towers. And Jay Lee was there, John Cassaday was there, the Kuberts were there, and McFarlane was there. And now it was in a hotel, and they had it wasn't really that big of a room, but they had all the artists in there because each one had a table and they were like signing and drawing stuff, you know, and the retailers could they had like auctions and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
And I was out in front of the room, and there was one of the retailers, and him and Todd started getting into something because Todd, he wanted money, or I could vaguely hear what they were saying because I was trying not to be, you know, all nosy and all that and other stuff. But like Todd he like exploded, and I'm like, dude, this is like a charity event almost. This isn't like a business thing, you know. And I understand, like, if you're out at dinner at a restaurant and somebody comes up with a stack of books like this and they're like, you know, sign these, be a dick all you want, because absolutely you're out with your family and all that stuff. But this is an event for charity, like, you know. And I don't know exactly why he wanted money for something or whatever, but I just remember him being a major dick to this person.
Yeah. I've seen a couple of like, there are certain artists that I think have gotten like, they just like they just, and certain writers, definitely some artists and writers that I've actually met have just gotten like this idea that they're celebrities.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The ones that and I've actually seen a few times where it's like they'll refuse to sign certain books and stuff like that.
Oh yes.
You know, Todd was really bad for that.
Really?
And also Rob refuses to sign what is
Rob,
it, New Mutants 98 now, I think, or something like that.
I think
he charges
so.
He refuses or he charges like $50 or $60 for it.
I think he's softened on that. I don't think he's
and then he was also charging people to have Fabian sign it, even though Fabian knew nothing about it. So I'm like, that's wrong. Like,
yeah, I think he has softened on that since then, because I think I think the Fabian thing is what did it, because I think people called him out on it. But Todd is like he just does not give a shit. He's like, I remember some kid brought up Spider-Man number 1 through 4, and he was just like, I can't sign these. And I'm like, bro, that's the kid's like 12 years old.
Oh man.
I'm like, bro, seriously? You can't like, I'm like, it's just like, that's carrying a grudge, man.
Yeah.
But
messed up.
I mean, it's also just 1 to 4. It's not like he had like, you know, multiple copies.
Yeah.
And then he had that thing like with the bag with the little cutout so he could sign it, you know, where he wanted it to be signed or whatever.
Yeah.
Because you know, those are going straight on eBay. I mean,
yeah. Well, I mean, I was at a convention where Rob Liefeld was signing stuff. And some dude walked up with like probably like 50 or 100 books. You know, like a stack like that.
Oh, they come with those like the luggage thing with the you know, on the thing, and it's like stacks and stacks. And I had a customer tell me there was at Wizard World, Stan Lee was there. The second person in line had a stack of shit like this for Stan to sign, and I'm like, dude, he's 90, like he's in his 90s. You're giving him a stack, like it was ridiculous. But
sorry, like I've never taken more than four comics up for anybody to sign. Because I think if you take more than like 4 or 5 books up there, you're kind of being a dick. And not only that, you're making everybody else behind you.
I was going to say, you've got 300 people waiting in a line.
Yeah.
And you've got to spend 45 minutes, one guy getting everything signed. And like you said earlier, you know, 90% of that shit will be going on eBay the next day.
Yeah.
You know, it'll be bagged and boarded and fucking stuck on eBay.
I forgot who it was. There was one artist who he would sign your book, but he would like, what's your name? And then, you know, Bob, Don, like, you know, you put your name on there. And I'm like, that's the way to do it. Cause I mean, they're not going to want personalized books on eBay or something, you know? And then that's not even taking into consideration the whole CGC thing where you have to have like an observer. Like, it's just,
I have never
ridiculous.
Gotten any of the books that I've ever had signed. I've never gotten them graded because I don't give a shit.
Good
and I get them personalized every time. I was like, and I just like, could you say it to Rob? Because that's my name, you know? And I do the same thing with like, because I go to horror conventions and stuff. I've got action figures like signed by Robert Englund and, you know, Toby Hooper and stuff like that. And I asked him, you know, can you sign that to me? Because this stuff is for me. It's in my collection. But those guys like, but the best one of those things that I ever saw happen was Joe Benitez was signing at it was a Wizard World convention, and some dude came up with a big ass stack, and he signed 2 of them, and then he just handed the whole stack back to him and said, "Thanks for coming."
Wow.
That's balls, man.
Yeah.
But that's the way you got to do it.
Yeah.
Like if someone comes up with a giant stack like that, they're like, "Look, man, I'm here to have fun too, and this is a job." So, but
well, see, you would think that they would say, limit of 5 or limit of 10,
and I've seen
the convention itself saying that.
Yeah, and I've seen conventions where they're saying like for any kind of signing like that, like maximum of X. You know what I mean?
That's good. That's good. Yeah.
Which I think needs to happen more because, were you the one who told me the story about the dude who came in and got all the Batman Fortnite comics and just tried to grab them all off the shelf?
Yeah, it was Mike. Yeah, a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
I think that was our first ever show. Actually, you mentioned that.
Yeah, like the people who are just doing that just to do that, like I could care less what the hell they do and they get.
Yeah, I agree.
Don, take us out of the darkness, man. What else did you get?
Yeah. Come on, cheer us up. Cheer us up.
To piggyback on that, before I go into the other stack of like plethora of comics I bought today and last week, good question. What is your favorite 1 or 2 stories of getting an autograph?
Oh my God.
Ooh.
For me,
like fondest memory of getting an autograph.
The 2, they're not comic books. They're actually film people. So when I got my autograph with Bruce Campbell.
Oh no, you bastard!
And with Robert Englund when the first time I met Robert Englund, I have the Freddy Krueger action figure from Nightmare on Elm Street 2.
Oh, okay.
And I was waiting in line. We were waiting in line, and like he wasn't even supposed to be down there until like 5 or 6 hours later. And we're all down there, and we're all tired, and it sucks. And he happened to just be walking past, and he saw all these people that were already lined up waiting for him. And he told the guy, his aide, he's like, "Let's go over there. Let's go." And he came over like 4 or 5 hours early and started signing autographs for everybody. And he doesn't just sign autographs. He stops, he talks to you for like at least a couple of minutes. And I got to talk to him for about 5 or 6 minutes, but he's just talking about stuff. So he's like, so I give him the figure, and he's like, so I signed it. Like, could you sign it to Robert? And he goes, I think I can manage that because it's the same name. But he signed it like to Robert, Sleep Kills. And then it was so cool, man. But then Bruce, we're waiting in line, and he actually, the weather was terrible that day, but he came through, and we waited in line for a long time. And again, he was doing like the thing where he was talking to people and everything. And we got our picture first, and he's like, and he looks at me, he goes, no, you stand over here, you big bastard. So he's like, you're a little too big. He's like, you can't block me. I'm the star here.
Can't block that chin, dude. Come on.
Yeah, but I got we got our picture taken with him, and then I didn't get a chance to get it signed. But then I went to his panel, and at his panel, he was like, he was like, he's like, these panels are always boring. He's like, there's a question. He's like, screw that. He had an impromptu talent show, and it was the funniest damn thing you've ever seen in your life. And at the end, I don't know why I had the balls to get this. I said, excuse me, Mr. Campbell, is like, I didn't get a chance to get a picture, your signature. He goes, let me have it. So he just, like the lady who like the convention lady that's with him, like Wizard World just not like that because they're like, they want their cut.
Yeah.
But I was like, well, I don't know if it's, he looks and goes, he's like, who the hell are they? Let me have it. So he just signs it right there. So
nice.
that was really cool. They were both really cool guys.
Cool.
What about you, Mike?
I'm very awkward, and when it comes to that stuff, the only one I could really think of was Prince. That was in New York. I mean, there was I used to do conventions. One of the kids I used to go to high school with, he would do the Star Trek conventions, And it seemed every convention I went to do with him, Jimmy Doohan, Scotty from the original Star Trek was there. And I mean, it got to the point where like I got tired of seeing him and he got tired of seeing me, because I mean we were joking, like, you know, and I noticed that he lost like 2 fingers in the war and stuff like that, and he didn't have an accent. It was like it blew my mind at the time, because there wasn't like, you know, you didn't know these things unless you were like enmeshed into the Star Trek lore, and I was just getting into it and all that. But yeah, I mean, I don't really I don't know. It's not because I don't know. I just walking up to somebody, can I have your autograph or something? It just, I don't know. I just can't do it.
I try to be like not like a pushy asshole. Like if they look like they're like chilling out and everything, I'm like, yeah, I ain't gonna bother them.
Yeah, I mean, especially now these days. I mean, you know, I'm sure they're sitting there, okay, yeah, this motherfucker's gonna flip it on eBay or something. You know, I just, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I can talk to, like, when I go to New York Comic Con, Peter Tomasi, we always commiserate on how Brian Michael Bendis or Grant Morrison are messing up the characters that he made popular, you know, after them being trashed by those respective people.
Dude, man, that story of the Peter Tomasi after Brian Michael Bendis took over Super Sons, he was just like,
yep, it happened again too. I mean, yeah, because you know, the first was a Damien, and what Morrison did to him killed him. But but like asking for something, I just I don't know. Just
I think it's because I've worked so many conventions and stuff like that, and I've been around. I don't know. Yeah. I just got to the point where I just didn't give a shit.
Yeah.
See, even
I mean, I've never like approached a person outside of the convention. It's only at the booth I'll approach for a signature. I never approached them outside. I've been like, hey, can I get your signature since I'm already here? I've never done that.
So somebody threw a convention downtown Bridgeport, and one of the guys that used to live across the street, his son is like autistic and he does stuff for autism charity. So he's like, well, why don't we have a drink and draw with like the bars and the restaurants that are on the street, like around me? And he's like, oh yeah, I'm like, you could do it too. You know, obviously you have a comic book store, it'd be perfect. So he's like, you know, get whoever you want, because, you know, they had a list of people that were going to be there. So the first person I tried was George Perez.
Wow.
And yeah. And unfortunately, I think it was the week before he had eye surgery. I mean, he's had multiple eye surgeries. But yeah. And he's like, you know, I contacted him on Facebook, and he's like, you know, I'd love to, but he's like, you know, I got to save my, you know, conserve my strength for the convention and all that. So I went to number 2, which was Phil Jimenez, and he said, yeah. And he came here, hung out the entire night. He was only supposed to be here for like 2 hours, and he came here, and he was really cool. I was up at the front register, and he was over like in this area where I am now. And I hear like yelling. I hear like him and somebody else, one of the customers that came in, they were just like going back and forth. And the dude that the customer was trying to give him money for the sketch that he just drew. And you should have seen. So like he did a Wonder Woman that was incredible. And the guy was trying to pay him, and he's like, I don't want your money. He's like, no. He's like, you know, I was just down at the arena. I paid David Finch like $80 for this headshot of Moon Knight, and you gave me like, you know, this Batman or whatever, like in Gotham, like, you know, very detailed and all that. He's like, I'm going to give you money. And he's like, I don't want your money. So finally I came over, I put a jar there, and I'm like, here, we'll just give it to like the charity or whatever. And the guy's like, fine. And he put the money in there. But he was like really cool. And he drew me a Rogue, which I have hanging up there. Even that I felt uncomfortable asking about, but he's like, yeah, sure, no problem. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, man, I hate you. Just like watching him draw, I'm like, I have trouble doing stick figures, man. And he's over here just like it's nothing, just like, you know, this and that Wonder Woman though he did. Oh man.
Some of those guys like and I'll be honest, like it's most of the older guys that have that kind of like just self-depreciation. They're just like, hey man, I'm just doing something I like.
Yeah.
You know, if you happen to like it, like I got lucky to get paid for it. So
they don't have that sense of entitlement.
Yeah,
I think is the way you describe it.
Yeah,
it's not I am X, Y, or Z. It's just like, yeah, dude, I'm lucky. I'll get to do this for a living.
Yeah, and then don't get me wrong. I understand getting paid. I mean, everybody wants to get paid for their work and everything, but
hell yeah,
sometimes it just it goes to ridiculous lengths.
Yes, that is true.
What else did you pick up, man?
Yes. Well, I got, let's see, the original Ghost Rider Rides Again, number 6.
Woohoo!
Not like the OG, but like when they try to bring them back to what he was, and like,
oh, it's Nightmare. Nightmare might be in Doctor
Yeah, you
Strange.
may have missed that. Like,
yeah.
Little, that's how our Nightmare is from back in the day.
That was when they relaunched that. Weren't they just reprinting some of the old books?
Yeah.
It pretty much is like what they did with classic X-Men. They were just reprinting the stories.
Yeah.
Although classic X-Men, they started it just doing the reprints, and then I don't remember what issue it was, but then they started doing new stories that bridged, like, gaps in
the
between.
timelines.
Yeah, kind of like that series they're doing right now.
The Legends,
X-Men Legends. Yeah.
X-Men.
Oh, okay. So I have Sensational Spider-Man Back in Black.
Ooh. Oh, that's the what's it, the Colin, no, what's his name, Clayton Crane. That's the Clayton Crane cover. That's nice.
Yeah, I was like, I gotta get that one. I like that. Who doesn't like Black Spider-Man? Come on,
dude. That's a guy that needs to do more books.
Now this one I thought was kind of cool. It's the 30th anniversary celebration of the Avengers.
Oh, cool!
With
oh my God, I remember that.
Yes.
I remember that with the embossed foil cover of the Vision.
Yeah,
nice, dude. Remember dude, for a while there, every book was coming out. It was like embossed, holographic,
foil, glow in the dark. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Old.
There was the red. Wasn't there a red Fantastic Four cover? And then when they did a second printing, I think it was like white or something. It was, they got crazy with that.
I remember before that, like it wasn't DC. DC had the holographic cards on their covers for some of their comics.
Oh yeah, well they had it for Robin too. As a matter of fact, you mentioned Robin earlier. Yeah.
Then I got some random ones I had no idea about, like Wildstorm #1, SciTech.
I remember that. That's Ed Bennis.
Yeah, well, like that's the funny thing. And I see Mike, he's like, I don't know this one. Like, if you don't know Wildstorm, you probably don't remember like a lot of. They had a lot of their own like variant characters.
That book,
and there was so much.
Stone Cold.
That book did not last long though.
Wildstorm,
surprising.
SciTech, yeah.
And then didn't Bennis go over to Wonder Woman?
Bennis, no, Bennis stayed on. He went from that to actually Wildcats.
Yeah,
and he did Wildcats for a while. Yeah,
and then some of the Wildcat characters did merge over to DC. I remember that.
Yeah, eventually they all did because Jim sold the company. But after Wildcats, Ed actually did the first run of Gen 13. He finished off that run.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm a big Ed Bennis fan. But and then he jumped over and he went to
for some reason his Wonder Woman like stands out as one of the Wonder Womans for me. I don't know why.
Yeah, that's because he he did the whole Artemis thing and where she
maybe that's why.
Yeah.
So I was gonna show the Trials of Loki, but Mikey beat me to it. So that one's going to side.
Aliens. You know, I've been picking it up and I still haven't read it.
Same here. Come on, man.
Oh, that is a good cover.
When you get, I'll show that one.
Yeah.
That's #2.
Yeah, those Inhu Yuck man. Those covers are amazing.
I like that cover. I like that cover an awful lot.
I don't even know if that's Newt, but I'm like, that looks like Newt.
Was anybody else disappointed in the third movie when they killed off Hicks and Newt?
Let me think about that for about no time at all. Hell yes.
I'm glad they got rid of those annoying characters in the first 2 minutes. Awesome.
How refreshing that they kill off two of the people who had amazing character arcs and replace them with generic prisoners number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. I just
got into a discussion with my brother about that because he was not a fan of Newt.
Why?
He's like, he blames Newt for everybody dying.
What?
No, they all died beforehand.
They died because they didn't listen to her.
Exactly. And I just, you know what? I just let him go with it. Because I was like, that's a conversation that's going to go on for hours. And
oh my God, man.
But
that's a deep dive right there.
He's like, Newt is the reason why they all died. I'm like, in the back of my mind, I'm like, no.
No, I'm pretty sure she isn't.
She would have been the reason they would have survived.
Yeah.
If they had
done what she said, and they're like, just like, it's like, come on, man, the hell you been?
Yeah. I'm grabbing these at random now. I'm just gonna open these and butterfly these.
Oh my god!
Do you remember this one?
Oh,
that's awesome, right there.
Yes.
I have that bagged and boarded right next to my US ones.
Yes, NFL Super Pro number 2, and I don't own any Super Pros, but I was like, holy cow!
You're gonna be totally lost without number 1, dude. Don't even
really
bother reading it. No, yeah.
I mean, I maybe.
God.
Yeah, no.
Didn't
let's see that again. Look at that.
Oh my god!
I mean, I remember getting like the human fly, and I was like so excited about that. And
that was crazy.
This I'm like, oh, this is golden.
Didn't Bart Sears about 10 years ago? He tried to do a book that was similar, and it was like it was people from each of the major sports, like Peyton Manning was a character in it, and was it Michael Jordan and Dale Earnhardt Jr.
He didn't use Shaq Steele.
But
ideally,
like he tried to do something similar and it just crashed and burned. Like even someone with art like Bart Sears isn't going to be able to pull something like that off.
Let's see. I got Batgirl Rebirth 1 and 2.
Oh, cool.
Oddly enough.
Now let me ask you a question. What do you guys think about them bringing back Barbara? Do you think that was the right call?
Wait, in Rebirth?
Well, just when they brought her back, period, after New 52.
I didn't like it.
I didn't either. I think as Oracle, she became something entirely unique.
Yes.
And keep talking, guys. I'll be back in a minute.
Yeah.
Okay. So I would say I have to agree, like, because even growing up, knowing the Batgirl character, I was never interested in her. And you're right. Like being Oracle, her involvement made her so much more important.
Yeah. Like
wasn't there a storyline where the Joker meets up with her as Oracle or something like that, and she like whoops his ass? Or was that her as Batgirl?
I remember it was.
No, I'm pretty sure it was her as Oracle. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to remember exactly what it was. Is like. Yeah, because it was like he was trying to break it because remember she was in the clock tower. He tries to break into the clock tower, and she's like, "Bitch, you're in my world." It's like, so he's just like his gang. Because he sent his gang in there, and they're just getting the crap kicked out of them because like they really took like her level of intelligence and her ability, and like they really took her to another level as Oracle. Like one of my favorite things was remember when they did Secret Identity storyline, and it was like her versus Calculator.
Oh yeah.
And it was like, and I was like, they were both trying to one up each other. So like you see that she like it's like at the I can't remember the name of the bar where all the villains would hang out. There's a bug, like it's her bug, and then on top, like above it, you see like his bug is watching her bug, and then above his is like her bug is watching his bug, watching her bug, and he just did that like 4 times, and then she's like, it's finally on top. It's ridiculous, man. I as Oracle, I think she was just so much more an integral character. She was literally like she was the glue for every single superhero in the DC universe. And then, but on top of that, man, I just think Cassandra was just the perfect Batgirl. Cassandra Cain was the perfect Batgirl. Like that whole story when she was part of No Man's Land.
Actually, you know, I got to say, I didn't like the comic book character Cassandra as much as I liked the character from the Birds of Prey movie. Kind of like that one a little bit better. It's more faithful. It's more faithful to the character's origin of being a random, nondescript Asian teenager who swallows jewels and stuff like that. As opposed to the badass that was in the comic book that can only speak through fighting and stuff. Yeah, no, not at all.
I don't know what you're talking about there. I don't remember anything.
Well, that reminds me.
Oh boy,
I got this graphic novel too.
What we got here? Oh, there you go. There she is, man.
Art Germ. Yeah,
dude, that guy's that's another artist that just drives me crazy. He's so good.
It was like DC's Festival for Asian Superheroes, and I was laughing when I was reading it because it's all short stories, but they did one with Cassandra Cain, and she still can't talk like full sentences, and she's like in school, and this one guy's trying to tell her something, and she's like, she corrects him on one thing, and she goes, "You're welcome," and in the back of her mind is like, "You'll be mine." I'm like, this is her way of flirting. I'm like, this is hilarious.
No, but like when they introduced her in No Man's Land, I was like, that's friggin' badass.
That was her suit too. I did like her suit.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Because it reminded me of like a cross between Batman and Catwoman.
Yeah.
From the movies.
Yes.
Because it had that stitched thing across the face.
Yeah.
But she just has such an awesome backstory that she's Lady Shiva's kid.
Oh yeah.
Speaking of Batman and Catwoman, Batman number 50.
Jim Lee again, man.
Mm-hmm. Thought you might like that one. I got this today too.
That was in the bundle?
Yeah, it was.
Oh wow.
Damn, these bundles you're getting, mate. Wow.
well, I bought a ton. So the law is statistics, law ratios. You get some burners in there that.
So in other words, you've got another 650 comics out of shop, which are like, oh, that's crap. These are just cherry picked ones.
For every NFL Super Pro number 2, you got to deal with the trash Batman number 50 by Jim Lee, covered by Jim Lee. I mean,
case in point,
or a Gambit.
I don't even know if this is garbage or not, but Zorro,
dude,
Top Comics.
Dude, some of the top stuff was actually pretty cool. Like when they did it was Tops that did the
Cadillacs and
Jurassic Park and X-Files.
Yeah, but they also did wasn't it Tops that did Bram Stoker's Dracula?
Yeah, they did.
Yes.
I have that.
Yes.
I have almost all of them. It was like 3, I think, right?
I love Mike Mignola. I have that. I have the original, the entire run of that. I have the original run of that, and then when they just did the reprint about 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Did you see that Masters of the Universe cover that he did though recently?
No.
Oh, yeah. Well, when you have time and you want your eyeballs to burn a little, just Google it because
he's been doing some weird stuff lately.
This would qualify.
Trying to change up his game.
Yeah, well, it's just I don't know what is going on with him. He's gone almost into almost like a Salvador Dali phase. It's this level. It's like the figures are like really distorted. Wait, no, you know what? I think I know the cover. I do think because I think he drew it and he put it on his Instagram.
It was
it's very misshapen and weird.
I know he definitely does have a style, and this looks like somebody who was trying to emulate that style but failed.
Yeah, he's been doing some I remember during October with the Inktober thing, he was putting out this weird stuff, man. And I'm just like, it's clearly him, but it's almost like him after a stroke.
Oh man.
Ooh.
It's just I didn't know that somewhere there's some kind of artistic idea behind what he's doing because he's an incredibly talented guy.
Yeah.
Like I said, if you ever get a chance to see if you can find the trade paperback for that Bram Stoker's Dracula adaptation that he did. His use of negative space, his use of shadow and negative space are unparalleled. Like he's right there with, in my personal opinion, he's right there with guys like Bernie Wrightson. But his recent stuff has just been weird.
Yeah, this I have issue number 2. I don't have both their issues, but this is I might have to lower my brightness on this.
Like just the covers for those books were amazing.
There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a brutal comic, but it was fantastic.
Yeah, the Tops actually put out some really good stuff, man.
But they were hit and miss.
Yeah, well that's why they failed, is because some of the stuff they did was just absolute crap.
Now, because I know he's such a fan, I have the Extreme Studios.
Hold on, can we get a zoom in for this?
Oh,
and then
the tour books
first, right out of there, That was like first page that came up. I was like, oh, I'm gonna have to share this for Mike.
What was it with like? I get the shoulder pads because there was a big. What was it with the tubes?
Dude, I have no idea.
Weird tube things.
And they were extra pouches.
The funny thing is, Union is one of my brother's favorite characters that was out of.
I loved Union,
like,
man.
He loved Union, and then on the
Max
second
Texera.
one was like we were talking about Brian Murray.
Oh yeah, yo, Supreme.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
wasn't Union? Union was Tex, right?
Yeah, Max Texera. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So
I think Jim Lee did the first piece of promotional art for it, which again was amazing. But yeah, Texera was the artist on that for the first run, I believe.
Yeah, him and that and Ghost Rider.
Yeah,
two of his definitive books for me.
One of my favorite thing that Texera did was he did that Sabretooth miniseries.
Yeah, that was good too.
That was really good, man.
Yeah,
Sabretooth is legit. I love Sabretooth.
Dude, that story was so cool because the main villain is basically this like super genius kid.
Mm-hmm.
And Sabretooth is like he kidnapped Sabretooth and he literally has them like dissect him and they do things to him to make him even stronger and better. And he's talking to his kids like, you realize that when I'm done with this, I'm just gonna kill you, right? It's like I don't care that you made me strong and everything. You're cutting me open and shit. He's like, I don't have a problem killing a kid. it's a freaking Sabretooth. He's a murderer.
That was the thing. Like Sabretooth back in the day, like arguably now, not so much, but back in the days.
Well, right now he's in a hole.
Yeah.
But this is true.
Which is dumb.
Like even before that, like he got watered down.
Dude,
and he was a beast. I forget what issue it was, but I remember seeing an issue where he was trapped inside the X-Men mansion.
That was the last issue of Wolverine right before they did Age of Apocalypse,
where he was going up against like Psylocke and Jubilee.
That was right before that. Yeah,
and like everybody was like, they were deathly afraid. They're like, this guy is coming after us.
Wait, no, that was actually after, because the last issue of Wolverine before Age of Apocalypse is the one where he finally popped his claw through his head. Like all these years, like he always does like the two thing, and he stops the other one right here.
And he finally does it.
Sabretooth is like, you freaking coward, just do it. And then you hear schlunk. and then they did the Age of Apocalypse stuff. And then when they undid Age of Apocalypse, when they came back, you find out that when Wolverine did that, he basically lobotomized him.
Oh,
so he became like.
Wouldn't it grow back?
Well, what happened was he became like.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, he became like docile.
Yeah.
But you find out later that it was all an act. He was pretending because he was trying to get their trust. And when Psylocke, when he finally made his move to escape, Psylocke tried to, because remember he had the character Birdie, who would use her telepathy to dial down his insanity.
Yes, I remember. Yeah.
And Psylocke tried to do the same thing with her second knife, and he was like, after Wolverine popped his claw to my head, it doesn't work anymore. And
I remember that.
And he wrecks her. He almost kills her. And in fact, she actually was dying. And the next story after that, I think it was the last issue of X-Men that Joe Mad did, was where, because she was in a relationship with Archangel, and they go to Doctor Strange to save her because like she's dying and we can't save her. And that's the issue where they go into this like the spirit world, like they go into like her soul and everything, and they make a deal. It's a weird magical story kind of thing, you know.
Which is funny to me. I'm like, doctor.
They basically take her soul and they put it into this thing, and that's when, and after she heals her, but that's when she got that red mark on her face.
Yeah,
she had like that red like that red chevron thing on her face, and then she could do weird things, like she could actually like travel through shadows and shit. No, but yeah, that Sabretooth story was awesome, man, because that Sabretooth was just like, he's just this unrepentant murderer. But it was actually right around then when they did the Age of Apocalypse stuff. That's when they started softening him up.
Which that was always one of my favorite storylines. It wasn't like always well received, but I just
Age of Apocalypse.
Yeah. Yeah,
there was some good stuff that came out of Age of Apocalypse.
Oh, I love the style, the art, and like some of the
Joe Mad.
characters.
Oh God, Joe Mad, that guy. That's another one of those guys that, as he evolved, man, he just got better and better and better. He's so good.
Speaking of stupid things like throwing Sabretooth in a hole, it wasn't in this. I was looking through this, but in I think it's the second one. Is it Hellions? No, it's X-Force. X-Force. I think it might be. Did you guys know that Deadpool isn't a mutant?
Nope. He's never been a mutant.
Yeah, no,
I thought
he's
he
a
was.
mutate. He's
No.
a mutate.
He
was part of the Weapon X thing.
Yeah, he was created by taking it's
Weapon
basically
X
an altered version of
augmentation.
Wolverine's. Yeah, it's an altered version of Wolverine's healing factor. Yeah, he was
just a normal. This is the way Rob Liefeld created him.
Yeah, he's artificially induced.
Yeah.
Oh, I did not know that.
I didn't either.
Yeah, his mutant factor is he doesn't heal like Wolverine does. It's almost basically he has super cancer.
Yeah.
His face is all.
Yeah, it's kind of like the Hulk.
You kind of think of it like his cancer, because cancer is this growth and regrowth, and it's out of unchecked
cellular growth.
So essentially, the fact that he can heal so well is because his cancer is so unchecked. That's why it's like constantly healing him. But if he can't, be damaged, then it's just causing more damage to him and it's keeping him alive at the same time. It's a double-edged sword.
And he doesn't really heal. What happens, like if he gets an arm cut off, he picks the arm up, he puts it back on the stump, and the cancer cells seal it back on. Because when the first time that Domino he goes with Domino, she shoots him in the head, and he's laying there, he's not healing. It's like he's got a hole in his freaking head, and she's like, no, he'll be back. He's like, he'll be back in a few minutes. We got to go now. So what happens? It's not like instantaneous healing. It's like after a few minutes, it just it seals up, and that's why his body looks all messed up too, because he's basically got super cancer.
So it's his cancer that's the mutant then.
It's
essentially
it's basically that bonded with they tried to basically replicate Wolverine's healing factor, and that bonded with his cancer, and it kind of made this into what he is.
So wouldn't that technically make him a mutant then? Because that
would make him a mutate. That would make him like Spider-Man in the Fantastic Four.
Exactly. Spider-Man's considered a mutate.
They're very classist, other mutant society.
Actually, they are.
You're not a purebred mutant. You're just an accidental mutant.
Because I read in there, he's trying to get into the gala, and they're like, "You're not a mutant, Wade. You can't get in," or something like that. And
well, it's also, and that's also like
Juggernaut. They did the same thing in Juggernaut.
Well, Juggernaut, it's the crystal thing. And,
that was like the whole story with when they did that storyline when Mary Jane told Peter that she was pregnant, and Peter went to go talk to the Beast, and Beast told him, is like, because he is a mutate, he said there's a good chance your kid's going to be a mutant. So
and she was.
Yeah. So technically, Mayday is a mutant. She's but then there was also the big argument about wouldn't they still be mutants, because they did that storyline with the Sentinels where they found out that every human being actually has the X factor. It's just not turned on.
Yeah.
And
or
mutant,
like
mutant is
essentially, humans are just like mutants are just the natural evolutionary order. So it just is a matter of time before it happens. And that was
any human being could be a mutant. You just have to activate the X gene, and mutants are just humans with the X gene activated. So technically, the mutations and everything that happened to the Fantastic Four was just an outside source activating their X.
Somebody just flipped the switch.
Like the Incredible Hulk.
Which because they were actually going to make Bruce Banner a mutant during the that storyline where all the Hulks merged into the Professor Hulk. Doc Samson, if you read the excerpts at the back of the comic, Doc Samson speculates that the reason why Bruce Banner survived was because he was actually a mutant who just had not his X gene who had an X gene, and that's why he was so intelligent. Because you got to remember, Bruce, when he was a child, he was doing like quantum physics.
Yeah,
but he was super intelligent.
physically and mentally abused by his father.
Yeah, but he was super intelligent, and then when that's why, and they were saying that's why he survived the gamma bomb.
Mm-hmm.
But then they retconned all that stuff with the new story with the Green Door.
Yeah. They retconned a lot of stuff. I mean, technically, you could still argue that he could be a mutant because his father augmented himself through gamma therapy and whatnot. So, but then again, they also retconned Franklin Richards.
Oh God, talking about stupid crap. There you go. There's another dumb one.
Yeah.
Why? And I cannot believe that Hickman would be on board with that.
And why is his hair like black now? Like the first mutants.
Yeah.
Are they trying to insinuate that Franklin is actually Namor's?
Ooh, oh, dude. I would not put that. Is Slot's still writing that, right?
Yes.
I would not put that past it.
That I remember that was a thing, like, because
See, but that I mean, he wasn't the one that made. I think it was Chip. I think it was Zardsky that did it for that Fantastic Four X-Men thing. I think that was the first time when he had the black hair. I don't think he had it in the Future Force or the Future Foundation.
Future Foundation.
I don't think. I think it was
no.
blonde.
He didn't. No, he didn't. He had blonde hair.
Blonde. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. So.
Yeah, so even in the future iterations of Franklin, like when he was an adult, like he still had the blonde hair.
Someone actually said that they think what's going to happen is that what's going on with Franklin is not. It's not that Franklin isn't actually a mutant. It's that connection that he has with Galactus. That's changed him, and that because you remember Franklin becomes Galactus in the future. There was one future where there was a future where he actually became Galactus. He took
I thought he just became the Herald of Galactus.
No, he actually there was I can't remember which storyline it was.
Is this in the 616 or is this Ultimate?
This is in the 616. This is before the Battle World stuff. It was before all of that. This is back in like 2014. And there was a storyline where they go into the future and they find out that Franklin is Galactus now, because Galactus, the whole idea is that Galactus, there's a reason why Galactus exists.
Yeah.
There's a reason why he exists, and
constant.
They accidentally killed him. And in the future, to save the universe, Franklin becomes the new Galactus. Yeah. So they're doing this. So someone said that they think they're doing a storyline where the reason why they don't think Franklin is a mutant is because he's that it's basically filtering back through the whole Galactus thing. The power cosmic changed him, and that he's actually altered himself. So there's so many.
I mean, that's crazy to just think about that.
Yeah, there's so many unfinished storylines and stuff with him, with Franklin. Franklin's always been one of those characters that, like, going all the way back to the stuff with like Days of Future Present and Ahab.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
There's so much weird stuff with Franklin. Like, you could probably go back and find 100 different storylines that are just like threads that have never been completed with him.
Like, I remember, and this was one of the reasons why I like Exile. I was a fan of What If, and I know a lot of people that weren't fans of What If comics.
Mm-hmm.
And I love What If.
How could you not like What If comics? Like, that's almost un-American.
Dude, that's what I was wondering. I'm like, why do you not like it? And they're like, oh, because it's not continuity, or it's just these weird stories. I'm like, dude, that's exactly what we talk about all the time. Let it happen.
One of my favorite what ifs was what if Wolverine became Lord of the Vampires? It was that dude. It was that storyline when Dracula was trying to turn Storm into a vampire, because it was during that time when, for some reason, Dracula's powers were waning. Yeah. So he was trying to find a way to increase his power, and the X-Men basically fight him off, and he leaves. But in this storyline, he kills them all. He actually does turn. He turns Storm. He turns Wolverine. He turns.
Does he turn Kitty too?
Colossus. No, he kills Kitty.
He kills Kitty. Okay.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure he kills Kitty because
spoiler alert, folks, by the way.
Yeah. But well, dude, it's a 20-year-old comic.
Yeah, somebody will still comply.
More than that.
Yeah, 20, longer than that, God. But
what
happens
what
is
if it's not continuity? So
just like just like Dracula, because when Dracula was turned, he was turned by that guy Varn. And but when he woke up, his will was so strong he could resist Varn, and he fought Varn and he killed Varn and took his place. Wolverine does the same thing to Dracula.
He becomes
And then he goes around and basically he either turns all the heroes and some of the villains, or he kills them. Like the ones he's like, okay, that guy's gonna be uncontrollable. We need to kill him. Like so, like at one point, like Doctor Strange gets killed by the Juggernaut, who's now a vampire. And it's just like it's a balls to the wall crazy story, but it ends up with the Punisher becomes the new Sorcerer Supreme because he gets possessed by Doctor Strange. And the Punisher starts going around. So now he's got all of Strange's power, and he's just killing vampires left and right.
Wait, isn't that the second time they did the Punisher getting possessed by Doctor Strange? Because didn't they do that? And like
they did, yeah. And I think that's why they did that for Strange. It's basically, think of the craziest story you could possibly think of. That's what they put into What If.
Yes, but I liked Exiles because it was like What If mixed with Sliders.
Yeah.
And
then, the first Exiles series, the first run, I thought was great. It wasn't until the most recent one where it started getting really stupid.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
But
did you watch Sliders, Adon?
Oh hell yeah! Sliders?
Wasn't there a time period where it seemed like every time there was a movie that came out, like say whether it had like killer spiders or the Mummy or whatever it was, it seemed like there was a Slider episode that was like themed the same way to coincide with that.
I don't doubt it.
Yep. I remember
they did it a zombie one, but it was based on everybody taking like everybody turned into zombies because they took a new drug to make them lose weight. And then and they were losing fat and they became ravenous, and that's why they turned into like these zombie-like creatures, because they need the fat consumption.
Yeah,
and I remember that vividly.
Didn't they do another? They did one too. Like they did their own variation off of vampires, but they were actually aliens that would eat. They would eat human eyes. Like eyes were a delicacy.
Something like that. Yeah, I think there was something like that.
Yeah, and then those guys actually became like the main bad guys for a while, because they were like, they could travel through time as well, but only in a limited form and capacity. So, because that's when they introduced his brother. Remember, that's right. His brother was like sent to another dimension or something, and he found his brother there. And those guys were like the main bad guys there, and so they were helping them to overthrow those vampires. And like they would. I remember one episode where the dude literally has a bowl of eyes, and he's got a fork, and he's like eating eyes, like the bad. I was like, this is crazy, dude.
That.
Yeah, Sliders was a unique show.
Yeah, I mean, it went downhill after Jerry O'Connell left, but
it was definitely like live action version of What If.
Yeah,
like you just go to another. It was your weekly episode of like, you're in a new world. What is going to happen now?
Yeah, like after John Rhys Davies and Jerry O'Connell left, it kind of went downhill. But yeah, the first couple of seasons were really cool.
Owl left too. I didn't know that. I knew Jerry O'Connell left, but
John Rhys Davies left. Actually, I think he left before Jerry O'Connell did, because remember his character.
He left or he died.
He left.
I think they killed off his character.
Yeah, his character was dying. His character was sick. Yeah. And he found the world where, remember, like there was a thing where he had lost his wife or something. And he found a world. Yeah, he found a world where she was still alive, and he was like, "I'm going to spend the last bit of my time here."
Yeah.
But and then Jerry O'Connell left, and I can't remember the name of the dude who took over. Like, because they were like doing like his consciousness had been transferred into that other guy. Or
really?
Something. Yeah.
But they kept his brother.
They kept his brother. Yeah. But and I think actually by the time they got done, there was only the only two original characters that were left was the guy that was the chef, the black guy, and then the original girl. Actually, I think she might have left too because I can't remember.
They brought in a new girl. They brought in a new girl.
Oh, by the time they got done, I think he was the only original character left.
Wow.
Yeah. He's like the lone survivor.
Yep.
Well, hey, at least in this case, they didn't kill a black guy first.
Exactly. He's like, it's in my contract. I have to be last.
He survived the series. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
but
progress.
Mike, what did you pick up anything this week?
No. I mean, just what I showed you. I looked through. I mean, there's some other stuff, but I didn't feel like. I mean, I didn't want to show it because I don't know what's going on in it. But there's some other number ones, and there was 1 and 2 of the Ultra Mega that Adon showed. He didn't show the number 2 though because he didn't buy the number 2.
Sorry. I was
messed up on that one.
You know what? If I knew you were gonna bring out the Loki, I would have got the number 2.
There's also Bendis's Justice League. They still allow him to do books, and it's sad too because David Marquez's art in there is really good. They need to they give him the best artist, and it's really annoying because I want to see their art, but I don't want to read his words.
Yeah.
And sometimes there's more words than there is art, and it's like, please stop it. Just stop.
Yeah.
Not so many words, please.
I mean, they paired him up with Ivan Reyes.
Oh my God.
And Ivan is so good.
Oh yes.
Oh my God. Again, probably one of the 5 best artists working today.
He's on Batman Superman now.
Yeah. I mean, he's so freaking good.
Yeah.
God, just reading that book was painful.
Oh Jesus Christ! Yes, Superman. Like, oh my.
I mean, talk about somebody that has diarrhea of the mouth. Like, he's just covering that beautiful art with unnecessary crap.
You know,
that brings up a good point because, like, I remember, and like, whether a kid or adult, like, I don't mind reading comics, like, if it's wordy and whatnot nowadays. But when you have a page. And I've seen this even to comics to this day, where I'll open and then all of a sudden I see words like fill out the entire top and it goes all the way down, and you see like just little outlines of the imagery. I'm like, yo, this is too much.
Especially when all those words are meaningless. Like you could say it in one sentence.
It's
and
jargon.
Then be done with it, you know, and instead of dragging it out for the entire page and covering all the art. Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's asinine. I don't.
You know what it reminds me of? I don't have it behind me, but like when I was in visiting my brother, I was reading, like, I have Thor annual whatever.
Well, you're getting some more lessons.
No. Well, no, I had bought it. It was like from one of the bundles I had, and it was an annual of Thor, and I forgot how wordy Thor was.
Yeah,
like you read, like if you like watch MCU, like, oh, Thor will say like a couple lines. He's like your dude, bro. And then, but like Thor, and he's like, "Art thou like Hydra snake?" Like set, and we go and I'm like, bro,
they had him talking in the old English. Yeah.
Yes.
I honestly, I don't know how I was able to read the Simonson Thor because that stuff bothers me. I guess he didn't do it as much there, maybe perhaps, but you are 110%. That's one of the reasons why Thor isn't really. I mean, Donny Cates's Thor is okay.
Yeah.
He doesn't seem to. But yeah, he gets very wordy, definitely.
Oh, absolutely.
And all that Shakespearean stuff and whatever, it just gives me a headache.
Granted, it was a weird issue in general because they had like Doctor Strange crossbred with Nick Fury. It was like he had the eye patch, and it's like I have no context.
Was it a magic eye patch?
No, I think it was Nick Fury being Doctor Strange for a short while.
If he had the eye of m.o.d.o.k instead of his eye,
you know what I'm saying?
But speaking of Donny Cates, man, what do you think about him moving over to Thor? I mean, not moving over to Hulk with Ryan Otley. Ooh.
I wasn't too impressed with Ryan Otley on Spider-Man, so I'm hoping he does better on Hulk. I don't know how they're going to wrap up all of Immortal Hulk, though. That's the thing that
that's only got 2 more issues.
It's pretty crazy going.
47
right now,
came out this week, I think.
Oh, so yes, 3 more because it's ending at 50, right?
50, yeah. And then they're going to do Gamma Force with Rick and Samson and Puck
and
Betty.
Yeah,
but I don't know. And not for nothing. I mean, Al Ewing is good on the Hulk, but I don't know. I don't know.
The stuff that he has shown, it does look. It reminds me a little bit more of his Invincible stuff, especially his Invincible stuff in the early going. Mm-hmm. But whether or not he can maintain that, because
right, yeah, I think that was part of the problem with Spider-Man.
Yeah,
that I had with Spider-Man,
which was weird because for a while there, they were actually doing something that I thought was really smart. They were switching him and Humberto Ramos off and on. Like he would do, like Humberto Ramos would do a story arc, like a 4 or 5 issue story arc, and then Ryan came on and he did like a 4 or 5 issue story arc.
Yeah, that they should factor that in more, because that gives the artist time to,
relax,
especially if you're gonna rush it.
Yeah, especially if you're gonna do that thing bi-monthly like that.
Yeah.
I think that was the big problem. I think it was coming out so fast. He was like, I gotta simplify. And he had already, even if you go look at his Invincible stuff, he had already simplified his style quite a bit from where he started out. I really liked his early stuff. I think his early stuff was his best work. But when he moved over to Spider-Man, I was just like, dude, what the hell?
Who's going to be doing the art for Venom?
I don't know. I know that he and what's his name are switching off.
Yeah, no, Al Ewing's going to be doing Venom, while Otley and what's his face, Cates are going to be doing. The Hulk.
So the question I'm wondering is he gonna? How's he gonna work? Is he gonna work the cosmic stuff in with the Hulk? Because that's what Cates does, man.
That's a good possibility. Yeah,
I mean, are we gonna get some like?
But see, I just stuff? I don't know where Ewing's gonna leave the Hulk. That's the problem. Like
like we said, like if you read the last couple issues, it's still going like crazy with what they're doing with this character. So
I don't know how you're gonna end that.
To close it within the next 2 or 3 issues.
Issue 50 is gonna have to be like this thick or something, like a phone book size or something.
It feels like it would be.
If it were me, I would have them destroy the Green Door. I would have them literally destroy the Green Door, because wouldn't
that kill the Immortal Hulk then? Because it wasn't that the reason why
it would kill that. Well, that's why he kept getting resurrected after when he died. He was still the Hulk. He'll still be the Hulk, but the whole, like, it's almost like with the X-Men, where they have like the resurrection protocol. This is kind of like it's like a really screwed up, evil, satanic version of the resurrection protocol with all.
So you say the Green Door is essentially gold balls?
Yes,
essentially.
Okay. Yeah. So
it's the flatter version of the balls.
Yeah. And that would be a really cool FU from the Hulk to the One Below All. But like, I'm shutting, like screw you, I'm shutting the door. Now the only question is, would that kill the Immortal Hulk persona? Because that comes from the connection with the Green Door and the One Below All.
True.
Would he go back to just being Banner and the Hulk again?
And all those will he not be able to do, because when he turns from Hulk to Banner and he does like the issue where he was just in like jars, does that mean like
awesome, dude?
Would he be actually dead at that point? Like, or does he still have that insane healing ability?
I think the Hulk has always had that crazy healing ability, but I think that
not to that extent.
I think that comes from the connection with the One Below All.
Or maybe Donny Cates will make the door cosmic.
No, I mean,
and have Mephisto come through.
That might be a thing, because like they show the first technical Immortal Hulk and the story that we saw last time, the Immortal Hulk.
I know what you're talking about.
You're talking about the one where he was mindless.
The one shot
that they did. And it wasn't him mindless. It was like showing like back in like prehistoric times or whatever.
Oh, okay.
And they introduced another character that was like a Demon Hulk, and who was technically an Immortal Hulk character.
Yeah,
had the same abilities, but looked savage as all get out. And then but just walks off and doesn't do anything after he's done killing everybody. So like, will they bring him back in the next few issues? Will they use like, I don't know what they're gonna do.
You could also, one of the things that has always happened whenever something on that level, because this is on a cause, because what's going on right now, it's supernatural, but it's on, like, as far as threats go, it's on a cosmic level.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever that happens, it always attracts attention of the celestial pantheon.
Yeah.
So
the other celestial characters,
and it also could. This is definitely, and since it's involving the one below all, the Living Tribunal is watching all this.
Mm-hmm.
It has to have something, and Living Tribunal serves the one above all. So
I feel like when you have okay, we've written ourselves to a wall and we need to give a close, and then like, okay, just bring in the Living Tribunal, wrap it up. Does that?
Well, I don't think the Living Tribunal would be able to stop it because he's up against the one below all.
But he can stop it before it actually happens. Like he could be like, possibly, you're about to open this door a little bit more. We're going to stop you right here.
Yeah. And there hasn't been actually a story involving the one above all for a long time. True. So I think the last storyline that actually he could bring in the Sleeping Celestial, because remember you've got the one above all, the Fulcrum, and the one below all are like the three top guys, but then
technically Tribunal is supposed to be above the Fulcrum, right? Or is it below the Fulcrum?
The Living Tribunal serves the one below all. I mean, the one above all. And the Fulcrum is like, he's like the in-between guy between the one above all and the one below all. So you've got those three guys who are at the top level. And then you've got the Living Tribunal, who basically is the living embodiment and the will of the one above all. So,
okay.
I mean, I guess technically he would be on the same level as the Fulcrum, but now you got the Sleeping Celestial who ascended, and he's now on the same level as the Fulcrum. It's weird. So,
I guess they could bring in one of those characters, but still, would it be like, it's cool to see him come in if they bring in one of those characters, but then do you feel fulfilled at that point?
I like the way things are going right now, man. Like you said, I don't know how he's going to finish this thing up, because it would take something on that level to kind of like stop the one below all. And and when you do that, it's like, where do you go from there? Do you go with a more contained story where it's a more traditional Hulk story, or do you go like Donnie doesn't do like small contained stories, man. He goes full on balls to the wall, like that story he did like his Thor run, man. Like he took it to, like, Thor's already like one of the most powerful characters in the heroes in the Marvel universe, and then he just took it to another freaking level. And the ramifications of that are still out there. I mean, like, he freaking killed Galactus, for God's sake. So it's like, is he going to do something? He's going to do something similar with the Hulk, but the thing is where do you start with that? Because, like you said, I don't know how they're going to end that story, especially not in 3 issues.
Yeah.
Something crazy is going to have to happen. Like it's going to have to be somebody cosmic level steps in.
All I know is, like, once they're done it, I hope they do a graphic novel series for that, for the Immortal Hulk, and I'll just get it. Because I'm like, I don't want to buy all 50 issues, because I've been like, the issues I do get, I've been loving, and I catch up like here and there, but like, I don't want to buy all.
You'd have to buy about maybe 9 hardcovers. Well, actually, no, it would be 9 trades.
Yeah,
like 5 hardcovers.
Yeah, because that's going to be like, that's like, because trades are like what, 3-4 issues a piece? 6.
No, the trades are 6. Yeah,
trades are 6. So,
and then hardcovers are 2 trades, so that's 12. So yeah, you have to buy at least 5.
Yeah,
I've done it. I'd do it again.
But then you've got the entire library and it's self-contained. So
yeah,
there you go.
Or actually, you know what? So if they did 5 hardcovers, that would be 5, 50, 60 issues of content. But since they only have 50 issues, they could put in the one shot, like the one shot that they did the one that Declan Shalvey did to, put any immortal Hulk stuff related. Yeah, that would make sense.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but like I said, remember the mindless one, which that was when Doctor Strange was at crossover.
Oh, the mindless ones.
No, not the mindless ones. There was an issue. There was a storyline where the Hulk, the Hulk's mind completely separated from Banner, and he just became like a mindless engine of destruction. And I think, and I if I'm
there's been
not
several
mistaken,
times that happened, but
well, no, this was like basically this is the most dangerous Hulk that ever existed because he was completely unstoppable. And I think this whole storyline, I remember an article where they said that this new version of the Hulk, the Devil Hulk, comes from that storyline because the reason why he became mindless is because he basically became demon possessed. That's why they called it that's why they called them the Demon Hulk. And I'm wondering, so if that is connected to the current run right now, you could also print those in it too.
Yeah.
So that was a cool friggin' because like he was so like that version of the Hulk didn't even look like that. He was like he was green and he was big, but he was all like lanky and he looked demonic. He looked like a friggin' monster, and he was literally just wrecking everybody. Just it was an unfettered engine of death.
You know what's funny? Like that reminded me of the Marvel, because Marvel cartoon movies never really hit home that well. But like I remember Hulk versus the where they had the 2 one-shot stories of the Hulk
versus Thor and Hulk versus Wolverine.
Yes,
and I have to say I did love Hulk versus Wolverine. That was just fun.
Toxic.
Yeah, it's the funnier of the two.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what I'm saying. It was just
because it's got Deadpool.
Yes, absolutely. But Hulk versus Thor, I loved because I'm like, that's technically how I feel like my Hulk would be. Like when they removed Banner, Loki tried to take over the Hulk, and then he just loses it, and then Hulk literally decimates Asgard as he's just like going through everybody, and what was it? He tries to Thor tries to punch Hulk, and he like breaks his arm in the process.
Yeah.
I'm like that's how it would go if Hulk went full savage. That's my Hulk.
Yeah, that's the reason why. Like, even though he's beaten him, Thanos has actually said that the Hulk is the one being that he actively tries to avoid, because if he does lose control, he's freaking unstoppable. And that's also like every time Thanos, like any kind of story where where Thanos is involved and the Hulk is there, he's the first person that Thanos takes out.
Yeah,
like he sends him away, like or he puts it. He's like, get him off the field right now. But that, like, one of my favorite stories was when it was the Hulk versus Juggernaut, and the Juggernaut's like, nothing stops me, and they go running, and the Hulk punches him in the face. Like they're running at each other at full speed, and he punches him in the face as hard as he can, and it basically disintegrates the Hulk's arm. Like it just explodes, right? But the Juggernaut's got this big dent right here in the middle of his face, and he just stopped. And the Hulk stops him. He just like stops it, and he just goes. He just falls backward, and the Hulk's like, it's like he doesn't care. He's gonna grow his arm back. So it's just like, Hulk's like, well, I guess not. And he just starts walking off. But it's just like this Hulk-shaped fist right in the middle of the friggin' the Juggernaut's helmet.
So, okay, so we all agree we all like the Hulk, right?
Yes.
What's your favorite version of the Hulk?
The World Breaker.
World Breaker?
Yeah, I really like World Breaker.
What about you, Mike? I mean, I know there's like countless versions now, but
yeah,
if you had to go for a go-to, like just fan favorite,
Joe Fix-It.
Joe's
cool.
Nice.
Joe would probably be my second guy.
Original Joe Fix-It or Joe Fix-It now? Because Joe Fix-It now is like, well, actually, now he is legit. Mike knows what I'm talking about right now. You're gonna have to catch up.
Yeah.
But Joe Fix-It, actually, I respect it either way, original or now, both legit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's why I like the World Breaker, because the World Breaker was kind of like he was Joe dialed up to 11 as far as like his mentality. Like he doesn't have the same style, he doesn't have the same, like the same swagger, but just that level of that, like, because Joe's brutal.
Oh God,
Joe has
he's like he's brutal in the sense that like he didn't need to be physically brutal. He was brutal with his intelligence.
Yeah, that's
like,
what I mean.
He's like your true Bruce Banner. I would say he's
calculatedly cold.
Mm-hmm.
And then with like when the World Breaker first showed up, that's kind of the way he was. He was like that issue where I can't remember the name of the dude, when they're on the ship and they're on their way back to Earth to like wreck everybody during World War Hulk. And that dude teaches him how to focus his rage.
Yeah, the
stone guy.
Yeah, it's like the stone calm or something like that.
Yeah. But that guy, when he did that, as like it's kind of like, I don't know if you follow MMA, but there's the world champ, the UFC world champion right now, heavyweight champion, is Francis Ngannou. And one of my favorite things that somebody said was, a patient Francis is a terrifying Francis.
Oh yeah, no, and I get that, like because basically World Breaker reached a level of anger that, like, he was so angry he became calm.
Yeah, it's just like he just became like this zen and was absolutely unstoppable.
He had focus. He was so angry he became focused, and yes, that was epic. And then so both your choices, respect and love both of your choices, because Joe Fixit, like I have a Joe Fixit figurine, and I love the style when he had the hat, the fedora, like the suits. He just comes out. He's like, I'm the boss. And like now, like reading into Joe Fixit, like even when he was in Bruce Banner form, he was just like that guy. Like you just don't mess with Joe Fixit.
Yeah.
Like even when the symbiotes were like attacking him, like he's like MacGyver killing these creatures. But I have to go with Comic Book Bob. But like my favorite was Planet Hulk,
World Breaker
Hulk, because that's how I see him. I'm like, dude, he will wreck everybody. But I do give respect to the Fix-It. He is fun.
Joe was the first incarnation of that version of the Hulk.
Yeah,
and like the World Breaker was like the evolution of Joe. And but that friggin' during the World War Hulk storyline, when he went to go talk to Xavier when he went to the Xavier Institute, because Xavier was the only member of the Illuminati that wasn't present when they voted to send him off the planet.
Yeah.
And the whole reason he goes to talk to him is he's like, I want to know what you would. He
was like, what would have been your answer?
He beats the entire X-Men, like all of them, like everything,
including Juggernaut.
Think of every X-Men character that exists. He kicks the crap out of all of them. What he does to Wolverine was so awesome, because they're like, well, Wolverine and him have fought all this time. He's like, Joe's like, no, you've never fought me. I mean, the World Breaker's like, you've never fought me. And he grabs Wolverine by his arm and he puts him on the ground, and he just starts punching him in the head till he liquefies his brain, and then just throws him away. It's like, God dang, dude.
Yes, and crushes Colossus's arms, like just holds them in on himself.
And then
surely Gambit would be able to take him, wouldn't he? He's the bestest ever.
Gambit was there.
But then when he corners,
they had Darwin, the guy who evolves to beat every adversary. His evolve was that his body teleported him away from the Hulk.
Yeah, basically, yeah. It's like you're the only way you're going to survive this is if you're not here.
Exactly.
So he disappears, and he's like, oh crap. He's thinking like he's going to kill everybody.
I read that. I was like, oh, this is not good.
Dude, and I'm not a big fan of the Sentry. I've never really liked that character. Yeah. The fact that he beats the Sentry in that book is awesome, man. It's like we know who the strongest one really is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then they came out with Blue Marvel, which I'm still okay with. I like Blue Marvel. Adam Brashear was he was a good refresh, and he's definitely OP.
He is, but he's the kind of OP that I'm okay with, because he's controlled. You know what I mean? And I like the explanation for why he hasn't been around was actually one of the best versions of that kind of story, where they convinced him that the world just wasn't ready for him.
Yeah.
And he's just like, and he just hid away. But no, I like that character. I think that's why I was really disappointed with WandaVision, because I thought that he was 100 since Monica was involved in that show, man. I was thinking like the physicist. I was like, that's going to be Adam. It's got to be Adam.
Oh, I thought that when they said she's like, I know a guy, when she was like talking about the machines.
Yeah,
like that could be Adam Bashir. Like, holy shit.
Oh yeah, I think everybody thought that, and because of what Paul Bettany had done, where he's like, there's going to be this amazing guest star. Like
when they were,
yeah,
when they weren't thinking about it being Reed Richards, he was number 2.
Oh yeah. But
see, that's what I was hoping with that show was something. And yes, okay, everybody says, it was fan expectations and all the rest of it, but
true.
You just felt they needed to give you something rather than
you got something. You got Wanda's new outfit, and she leveled up, and Vision's back.
She was forgiven for being a horrible person and enslaving thousands of people because she lost her sex toy.
She wasn't. Well, Monica forgave her. The people did.
No, that was clear. The people they were like definitely not forgiving her.
Bitch, get the fuck out of here now.
Now,
that's really one F-bomb for the show.
Now, the thing that I'm really excited about that it was, and this is something that most people probably don't even know what we're talking about, is the fact that she has the Darkhold.
Yes,
she has the.
I think I've seen a movie about that.
Yes, she has.
It's not that far off, oddly enough. It is bound and made by human flesh and skin.
Yeah,
just the same.
But that makes me think that we're going to start seeing some of her backstory with Chthon and all that.
Do you think she's back at Wundagore Mountain?
No, I don't think they're ever going to do the Wundagore Mountain stuff.
God, I hope not. Evolutionary. Not a fan.
Well, it ties back to Chthon too.
Well, I want. Well,
Mountain too.
They could do the supernatural aspect of Wundagore Mountain, because and the whole thing with her mother being like that's why she has this connection to magic.
Yeah.
They could do that.
But are they going to make her father Magneto?
I wish they would.
But here's the thing: didn't they retcon that?
Yeah, and then they
re-retconned it.
They kind of re-retconned it. Yeah, that's why. Yeah, that's like I said, man. That's why the whole thing with Franklin Richards. I think that they're just going to retcon that.
Well, I mean, there. Granted, there are potentials that they could do with it, but like for example, they could say the cabin was in Latveria, that she just left the U.S. entirely, and then there's a storyline with her and Dr. Doom, that as an item together. But I'm sure this just came to mind because we were talking about Wanda. Did you all see m.o.d.o.k?
I've watched a little bit of it.
Yeah, me too. Some.
Okay, so the show has a lot of deep cuts for characters that they pull in, and the one I saw that is directly tied to Wanda is Master Pandemonium.
Yep.
Oh, you saw that one?
Yeah.
Where he has the little baby hands.
Yeah, it's.
I saw that, and my brother and I were watching it. We're like, "Oh no, they did not bring in the baby hands with Master Pandemonium." That's her kids.
I know,
basically.
But no, I don't think they're going to do that. I don't think they're going to do the Master Pandemonium thing. I think they are going to do Mephisto.
I mean, that's the next evolution, I would imagine.
Yeah, because
the Darkhold.
Yeah, because in the story that they the original Master Pandemonium story, he thought that he was collecting his soul, but he was actually collecting Mephisto's.
Exactly, but the Darkhold is tied to Chthon. So I mean, they could just say the Darkhold is tied to Mephisto, and then just toss him out the window for Chthon.
Well, don't you think they would do Mephisto over Chthon, because Mephisto is more? I mean, if you had to think of somebody between the two, who's more?
Yeah,
who's more known?
Prevalent?
Yeah. That's why I'm saying like they would just consolidate. It's not the first time they did stuff like that, and for the MCU.
And then that way they could have Spider-Man get married to Mary Jane, and they could fuck up his marriage by having Mephisto be involved in that too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mike's like, I'm still salty about that. Damn it.
Everybody's salty about that, man. That's still to this day is one of the things that people are salty about.
Oh man.
You know what else people are salty about? Death.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Wait. Just Death in comics or Lady Death in the actual
they're talking about the DC's
Death and Sandman.
Certain Mr. Gaiman.
Yes, yeah. Mr. Gaiman.
Now here's the thing. I think a lot of the stuff that people were getting upset about with when they first made that announcement, I think is stupid. Like if anybody has ever read Sandman, they know that Desire is
Desire, yes.
Yeah. That
gender
argument,
fluid.
and then also they're not gender
bending.
John Constantine. That's John Constantine's mother.
Right.
So that stuff I can understand. I think is bullshit. I think it's like if you like don't comment on something if you don't know what you're talking about.
Exactly.
But the death stuff, I do think people have a legitimate gripe on that, and I think you need to separate the two because they have said multiple times they have said that. They based her appearance is based off of a real person, and
like Constantine was.
Yeah, and that appearance is and her appearance is iconic.
Yeah.
So now, if they wanted to do a thing where she changes form a couple of times in the show and everything, I understand that because she has actually taken on a different visage at certain times during the comic, but they always went back to that default because that's who she was.
Yeah.
Well, see, it's not for me. It's not against the actress because I've heard she's quite good. There was
she's actually really cool.
Yeah, but so if they could make her chalk white and still have the actress, I don't have a problem with that as long as it represents the most famous, the like you said, the one they kept going back to, the iteration of the character.
Like, dude, I remember people during the. No, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you there.
That's good.
My audio's cutting in and out, but back during when the Sandman comics and stuff first came out, that's when the goth wave was hitting like really big and crazy. I remember like people who were like into that kind of stuff. That's like the one comic book character they knew about, and that became iconic. And even Neil Gaiman himself, when Cinnamon died, and he even said like you gave Death her iconic look and her smile. Yeah. So to just retcon that away, to me, is it's disrespectful to not only to the fans, but to the person who you base this thing on.
Well, see, the problem with the internet, while there are specifically Twitter, while there are occasionally good things that happen on there, there's a lot of stuff that's shit, and you do have these bad faith actors who get on there and just want to bitch about something, whether it's like for or against. And that's part of the problem. Like he should probably ask people who actually perhaps maybe picked up an issue of Sandman or an issue of either one of her miniseries or, anything that involved any of the characters that they're sitting bitching about and making like, these YouTube videos about where they're bitching and moaning about, their race bending Death and gender bending Desire and all this other stuff. And it's like, this is what happens. Like there was another thing with Tarna from Heavy Metal. She has her own series, and people are losing their shit because she actually is wearing clothes. Yeah. And it's like, okay, well, wait a minute. So if you guys supposedly are these huge major fans of Tarna and you're taking Heavy Metal to task for it, were you just at all just a little bit upset that they had her talking a couple issues back? Because that would have been something that was actually against the original iteration of the character too, because all she would do is come into town, wreck shit up, and then leave, and without saying one word. She said no words in that that little segment.
And if you actually read the story, she actually does have her iconic look through most of the story.
Yes,
and she has that new look for a little while, and then it's still the same character.
Well, the armor I think is just because this is going to be like like suiting up for like a final war.
Yeah,
or something,
it's the penultimate battle
or something. Yeah, and it's like, I mean, I don't know. I think it's getting to the point where there are people that either they feel they're entitled to something, or they feel like it's just, hey, you know what, somebody's bitching about something, let me bitch too, because
it's too much of a it's too much of a knee-jerk reaction from both directions is what it happens. I think.
Yeah, but I think also sometimes some of it is warranted, at least for the people that are actual fans, because you've seen studios try to do stupid things, try to like, you know, whatever, fill the, you know, whether it's like the diversity or just like sheer laziness. Because I always say this, when I saw there was a blog that Kevin Bacon did right before First Class came out, and he said that the Sebastian Shaw we were going to see was one that, you know, we weren't going to be familiar with because the producers and he felt that they couldn't translate the character to the big screen. And that statement alone just, it blew my mind, because all you had to do is just, you know, make them a little portly, like, you know, Robert Shaw from Jaws, get him grow the mutton chops and have him dress like Prince from Purple Rain. And there's your Sebastian Shaw right there. Like that's it. Magic. Like, you know, I mean, to say that that's the ultimate laziness, you know? And when you hear these things, you don't think that they're doing them with the best interest, or, you know what, well, we couldn't do this, so we're going to try doing this or something. You know, you just feel like they're being lazy again. This is just them, whatever shortcuts they can take, they're going to take it. And here it is.
It's just like when Michael Bay said that, you know, like, well, we tried to do the Generation 1 Transformers and they didn't look good on film. I'm like, did you watch them? And then we see the first 5 minutes of Bumblebee. And I'm like, you lying bastard. It's just, I was like, you son of, I was like, you son of, we could have had this the whole time,
you know?
Yeah, but, exactly. No, those renders of Bumblebee were, my brother still hadn't watched it, and I'm like, bro, you need to watch that.
Dude,
like,
I haven't seen Bumblebee yet.
The first, you really haven't? You have to watch the first 5 minutes at least.
The best summary of Bumblebee I will give you is you take Transformers, mix it with ET. That's it.
Which Transformers are we on about? The first couple of Transformers or the last couple?
No, you take
or are we on about the OG cartoon series / comics?
Actually, OG.
Like, so okay, OG. Considering I've got
Bumblebee.
Oh, good.
ET.
Yeah.
Okay, I might have to check that out then, because I love the OG Transformers. I've got many DVDs of them.
Yeah. Dude, I like,
and somewhere I've got like 4 or 5 years of uninterrupted comic book runs from like the late 80s Transformers.
Man. But
which up in my attic, which I know they haven't thrown away, like they did all that POS stuff I had that was worth thousands.
But man, we're at 2 hours and 20 minutes, man. I gotta get right back.
Yeah, man.
Here. But what do you guys think? Is anything else you want to talk about, or anything else you guys want to talk about, or
Superman Lois continues to be good?
Yeah, I was going to say that. Dude, apparently, that's good. Who'd have thunked it with a CW show?
You know, and I did. Are you guys caught up?
Yeah. I watched the last episode with Irons.
What episode is that? What number?
John Henry
7,
Irons?
I think 7 or 8.
Yeah.
Okay, so I am a little bit behind, but like 1 or 2 episodes.
Yeah, I think it just came out. Yeah.
Well, I will say,
I was
with
catching
no spoilers,
up on HBO.
I did like the reveal, or I like what they're doing with Luthor.
Yeah, no, I did catch early on what they were doing with Luthor's character. Like, yeah, I figured that out early, and I was like, okay, this is really intriguing, really good, actually.
Yeah, I kind of and like I've liked the kind of like slight nod to Injustice that they're doing in the show. I kind of like that idea because I'm interested. Yeah, it makes sense. If they're not going to do Doomsday, you've got to bring John Henry Irons in somehow, and I think that's a good way to do it.
Mm-hmm. Come on, man, John Henry Irons, love his voice, love him as an actor, and just great.
Yeah. What do you think about the little nod to the Snyder movies with the spear thing? I chuckled at that a little bit. I chuckled at it. Yeah, but I'm that's it for me, man.
All right.
Right. Okay. Since Bob has got to go, and I have frozen because my lighting does not have a great battery life, apparently. Barely lasts 3 hours. I think that's a good place to call it for the day. So, first off, I'd like to thank everybody who's been watching this show. I mean, This is great. I love this show. I'm sorry, but I really fucking do. That's my one F-bomb for the show. You had one earlier, Don. So
I did.
And yes, let's start off by thanking everybody. So first off, we'll go with Mike, as he's closest to me on my screen. Mike over at Rogue Comics. Plug yourself, man. Sell yourself good.
Well, I do have a link tree, but it's not Linktree. It's better because I don't like Linktree. It's kind of gaudy. It's direct.me/Rogue Comics. I do have a YouTube channel. I don't really use it. I haven't used it since last March. But if you can help get me to like 100 people so I can get the
custom URL.
Yeah. I at least want that because there's another Rogue Comics that I saw on YouTube that apparently they like read Star Wars comics or something. And I'm like, oh no, I have to get the name.
Get Elfin.
Yeah. So well,
DM me the link for it and I'll
oh, okay.
So
yeah, that's it. I don't there, right there. That's it. And yeah, that's it. I do have a store. If you want to order stuff, I do things over the phone. I see that Gippy's in there and I've sent her some stuff, some orc repellent too.
No, she doesn't need orc repellent, mate.
But yeah, that's it. Had a good time.
There you go.
This is definitely a cherry on the shit Sunday that I've had for the past week or so. And yesterday,
I'm assuming you mean it in a good way.
Oh no, no. This the cherry's the good part of the Sunday usually. So yes, absolutely.
I would hope so.
glad we could help you out, man. And also we have a Don from over at Nerd Tots. Yes, Wade, plug yourself.
Yes, I am on Nerd Tots. We do stuff like D&D, anime reviews. I froze for a second. I don't know why. That was actually in my mind. Anime reviews, watch parties, and cooking streams. We'll have a watch party tomorrow. We're gonna actually watch Jean-Claude Van Johnson. Because my brother never watched it. I'm like, let's just watch something silly and fun. So if you like Jean-Claude Van Damme, we're gonna watch that. And
so with your cooking streams, do you send out samples to the viewers?
No.
Oh no! Remember, he didn't bring us any last time either.
Well, yeah, that pizza. You had everybody binging on pizza, dude. Then.
Yeah, you did.
I don't have a PO box or anything yet. I mean, maybe one day I'll get to the point where I can start cooking stuff and I know how to package it to send. Right now, if I try to send it, I feel like I would be sending you mush.
You don't have a teleporter or anything? You know?
I wish I could teleport. That'd be awesome. I'd be like,
no super scion powers you could use?
None. Man. I'm all. I have no anime powers that I can manifest to get this done.
Any latent mutant abilities from living in Florida that you might have or anything?
I can tell when it's gonna rain because I was monitoring the rain by the flow of the water on the pond. And I was like, okay, it's gonna rain. I'm gonna have to cut my stream right here.
But you only get like 15-minute increments for the rain, though, right? And then it just stops, right?
No. So it depends. So we have it was raining for like a solid hour or 2 hours. So depending on the day, you could have a full day rain. You could have like increments of rain. We have like rain bands, as I like to call them. So you could also be driving and it'd be a completely sunny day, see it down the street. You drive right through the rain and then drive out the rain. Yeah.
Okay. So it was like a car wash, I guess, right?
Kind of like a car wash. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
Like I just need some soap to go with it, and then it'd be official.
Well, you're not in Orlando, are you?
No. I'm in the Tampa area.
Oh, okay.
So like it's more off to the side, but I'm more inland, not closer to the water. My father's in the Ocala area, which is around, not really. Yeah, he's not that far off from Kissimmee area, but yeah. But Florida's Florida, man. It's unique.
Well, yeah, I did actually hear you saying, "Oh, I got to check if it's going to rain or not," because normally 9 times out of 10 you hear splashing in the pool. Because folks, he's got a freaking pool. When you hear splashing in the pool, it's normally a gator.
Yeah, you ever
Well, because I have a pond right next to it, and so like I hear we have ducks, but we also have gators that like will travel from one pond to the other. They'll come out, and then
I just completely heard Chevy Chase from Caddyshack in my head. Oh, we have a pool and a pond. The pond would probably be good for you. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was a good reference there. I love it.
Actually, I was getting vibes from Happy Gilmore with that one. Don, don't lose your hand.
No. Listen, Happy Gilmore was my favorite Adam Sandler movie.
Oh,
just
gotcha.
because of Bob Barker.
The price is wrong, bitch.
That's right.
Come on, let's be honest. After the early 2000s, every Adam Sandler film's been shit.
That's just true. I was never a big Adam Sandler fan.
Is that what they call themselves? Fandlers?
I have no idea. They
probably
that would be hilarious. If like, how do you know our names? They're Sandlers. They're fans of Sandlers.
Actually, I'm hacking your IP and checking your emails just to make sure there's nothing untoward going on there, Don. But yeah, so Bob will be back in 1 second. So
that's why I've been trying to stall.
Yeah, here. I know. But I'm thinking we should just end the stream because Bob. Oh no, actually, I'll plug. We'll be back in 2 weeks, folks.
Yeah, I was gonna say plug yourself.
I'm the best looking orc on YouTube. This is the Green Zone. We have had a slight rebranding here recently over the last few days. If you want to find out more about that, you'll just have to tune into Wormholes tomorrow. Whatever the hell time it is, depending on your time zone. For me, it's around 6 o'clock mark in the afternoon. 1 p.m. Eastern, I think that works out at, I don't know, you can work it out from there because I still can't get the hang. I've been doing this for almost a year now and I still can't get a hang of American time zones.
Now, does the rebranding have anything to do with the fact that you kind of look a little like Sweet Tooth, which just recently launched on Netflix with the horns and all that?
Wait, did that air?
Is it aired?
It started. Yeah, Friday.
Ooh, okay.
I don't have Netflix, so I'll find it somewhere else.
Well, yeah, I don't either, but yeah, it's there somewhere.
Not that we encourage that sort of thing, folks. No.
No, I just I saw it. I didn't do anything about it. I just
of course you didn't.
Yeah, just like window shopping. Just drive.
He likes to stay up to date.
Yeah, I'll go. I'll find somebody I know who's got Netflix, and then I'll just take over their living room and watch it. That's what I'll do.
It's only 8 episodes. I think they're like 40 minutes long or whatever. So
yeah, that's all right. I'll get them. They can cook me lunch then while I'm there. Unlike a Don who just cooks himself food all the time and never fucking
telling you, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna like the only other people that are gonna be eating what I made is gonna be my mom and my father. So I'm just gonna bring him food and tomorrow dropping it off. But
and just to address Gippy in the chat because she's constantly spamming the chat. I mean, it's not easy, folks. Been me, having to put up with people like Gippy stalking you all the goddamn time. But we can't do this every week because, funny enough, I can't be up till 5, 6 o'clock in the morning every week at the weekend because I have other stuff to do.
Oh, I was going to say orcs sleep. I didn't think orcs sleep.
Yeah. Oh, God, yeah. We love our sleep.
Really? Are you guys lazy? Is that what you're saying?
Oh, hell yeah. Our 3 favorite things are sleep, fighting, and something else that begins with F.
Oh.
Yeah.
Foraging?
Food. Get your minds out of the gutter.
So I was gonna say like they're just trying to like recuperate all that beauty sleep that they need. It's a lot of that.
What do you mean? God. What do you mean? This is all natural, mate. Well, apart from the makeup.
That's obviously the makeup that's maintained from the natural hibernation cycles.
Well, I mean, looting and pillaging takes a lot out of you, mate. You got to travel miles. You got to carry your weaponry. Possibly any rations if you can't find any travelers to kill and eat on the way. It's a logistical nightmare, and then you got to get all your plunder back as well. It's a freaking nightmare, I tell you.
High calorie intake, man. You
know what?
Keep it up.
I think you guys should start unionizing or something, man.
We thought about doing a union, but apparently, if you join a union, Blizzard doesn't like that. So a lot of people will be out of work on secondary jobs, doing mocap for games and stuff like that,
especially after pandemic and all that stuff. They have
Oh
to,
God,
like,
yeah, it's a logistical nightmare. It really is, all the way up. Like you say, unionize, and then people don't want to touch you with a barge pole, because oh no, you're oh, you're an orc, that's fine. You want to go pillaging and killing people, that's fine. You're in a union, no. So, but yeah. But yes, so like I say, we've had a bit of a rebranding. We will be explaining more about that on Wormholes tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. UK, roughly. I mean, we are a professional outfit. We try to start within 2 hours of our planned time. So, but other than that, Bob is been a while, Bob. So if you two want to go, I'll hang around for a minute and wait for him. It's not a problem. I can just chat general garbage. If you need to go, if you don't need to go, then Don, show us something else quickly.
Sure. Okay.
Oh, so you can go if you want, guys. Jesus.
It's not like I don't have a supply.
Ah.
Well, like, okay, just grab a first one. So I don't even know this company still exists. Eclipse Comics?
Nope.
Yeah, exactly. Probably doesn't. But like I just saw Airboy. I have no idea who this
Airboy.
is. But like the Return of the Rats. I'm like, that looks kind of cool, actually.
Okay, it's a rat with a shotgun by the looks of it, or an assault rifle.
Yeah, exactly.
I could be down with that.
That's a Texas rat right there.
Skaven have upgraded.
And the funny thing is, I saw the cover and I'm like, Splinter? Because like does that not look like Master Splinter with a like a machine gun kind of?
Yeah, it kind of does actually. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I'm like, even if this story is garbage, I'm like, this is gonna be actually kind of cool art. So like, I know, like, I would love to see someone just like do that and just like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Splinter's Revenge or something like that. And then I'd be like, that I'm sold. I would get that Ninja Turtle issue 100%.
Oh, definitely.
And then let's see.
Oh, and by the way, I'm just wondering if Bob's actually fallen in now.
Dude, we got to get him some Depends or something like that, so he doesn't have to go to the bathroom.
He needs more.
He needs to be a professional and just get a pee bucket.
There you go. Actually, there's a store.
Look, he's back. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Dude, you don't understand, man. For me to go to the bathroom, I have to run all the way across the friggin' plant.
Now, we know you're bullshitting because you don't run anywhere.
No, I'm just out of breath from walking around with my balls. They're huge.
Well, try emptying them sometime.
Why would I want to do that? I have to deny them my essence.
Oh, fair enough.
Oh. You ever hear that from Dr. Strangelove? I love the general that goes crazy. He's like, I deny them my essence.
That's such a classic film.
Oh, I love that movie, man. You couldn't make that movie today.
Oh, no.
Oh hell no.
So many movies you're going to do today.
Oh, God. You couldn't do Tropic Thunder today, even, for God's sake.
Oh my God, dude.
Yeah, I love that movie too.
Dude, did you watch did you ever see Joe Rogan's podcast when he had
RDJ on?
RDJ on, and he asked him, do you think you can make the movie? He goes, you could make it.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't know what's gonna happen. He's like, and he was talking about how like when he showed his mom that movie for the first time, she just went to Jimmy. She goes, Bobby. I said, why? But dude, man, that movie, God, that movie is so funny, man.
It's so wrong in all the good ways.
Exactly. Even the opening trailer that they did.
Yeah, dude.
Actors.
Survive.
And like, what is it? They had one good role for a black man in this entire movie, and they gave it to the white dude.
Yeah. I was like, what do you mean, you people? What do you mean, you
My movie's on up. And he's like, are you quoting the Jeffersons?
Yeah, he's like, yeah, just because I am doesn't mean it's not true. Come on, he's like, everybody knows you never go full retard. You went full retard, man. Never go full retard.
By the way, folks, we are quoting lines from a film.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Oh my God.
I know who I am. I'm the dude playing the dude pretending to be another dude.
I'm the dude playing the dude pretending to be another dude. Oh my God.
What was it? I can't remember his name right now. Spider-Man. The first one.
Tobey Maguire.
Tobey Maguire, when he was in the trailer with Robert Downey Jr., he's like,
yeah.
Oh no, he's like, the bless me, Father, if I had sinned.
Yep.
Oh my God,
dude, that movie has some awesome freaking moments in it, man. Tom Cruise, that's Tom Cruise's best performance ever.
What, the one he's uncredited for?
Yes. With the balding and
with the arms. He's like,
yeah.
He's like, I want massive hands with hairier arms. And he's like, make them hairier.
Oh my God.
Oh God.
It is genius. It is everything you couldn't do in a film. I mean, for God's sake, look at I don't know how South Park's still going on. Really, when you think about it.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
dude. That movie there's a lot of movies like Blazing Saddles. You can never make that movie again.
Oh shit. I mean, come on, let's be honest, you couldn't even make Robin Hood Men in Tights anymore.
Oh my God. He's like, Red, I told you to wash your hands after cross burning. And he turns his hand and goes, see, it's coming off.
That movie was great because I watched Blazing Saddles for the first time like 3 years ago, and then it became like one of my favorite ones. I never watched it as a kid, and I like it as a kid. It would never hit the same way as it hit as an adult now.
Oh God, no. Well, not being funny. Let's face it. Mel Brooks is not really for kids.
No,
it never was. Although as a kid, there was movies I loved of Mel Brooks.
Spaceballs,
100%.
Damn right.
Men in Tights.
Young Frankenstein.
Young Frankenstein. I didn't watch that as a kid, actually.
Oh wow.
History of the World Part 1.
Yes,
dude, that's such an underrated movie, man.
As a kid, that was my favorite Mel Brooks movie. It actually toppled over Spaceballs. Spaceballs, iconic. History of the World Part 1. Every time it was on TV, I would watch it.
My favorite part of that movie is when they're chasing them and they're like the big giant cloud of friggin' reefer smoke. And he goes, okay, you guys go that way. You go that way. I'm just going to walk right here in a circle. I'm just going to walk in a circle.
It was nothing but it's like the Inquisition. The Inquisition. It was just stupid, but I loved it.
Man, Mel Brooks, dude. There's a dude that God dang. We need someone like that again.
Right now, we're not ready. Well, we would want to be ready for that, but we're not ready for that because if another Mel Brooks came out, he would be shunned, and it'd be a shame.
Dude, they would burn Los Angeles like Oakland lost twice, man. Like, good Lord.
Yeah, unfortunately.
But, anyway, on that cheerful note, Bob, plug yourself. Since you're the one who said I need to go, and now half an hour later.
Yes, you can check me out at Comic Book Bob on YouTube. You can also check me out at Comic Book Bob on Twitch and Comic Book Bob 1 on Twitter. And stay tuned. I got something coming up next week.
Ooh.
You
gonna give us any teasers for it?
Well, let me tell you something, brother.
Mm.
I've been hanging out for 40 days and 40 nights. If you know, you know.
All right, but anyway, okay, everybody, thank you ever so much for joining me again. This, like I say, this is a great show. I'm loving doing this. And from what I've seen from people in the chat, they are fucking loving this as well. So if you're in the chat, don't forget to do all that good stuff. If you're watching on the replay, leave a comment down below, but make sure you like the video, you subscribe, hit that freaking bell so you find out when we go live again, not just for this show, but for other stuff we do on this channel, believe it or not. I mean, it's all garbage and I wouldn't watch it myself, but, you know, Yes, I know that. I did explain that 10 minutes ago. You weren't listening. Sorry, folks, I'm talking to the producer in my ear. But no, so, and guys, thank you ever so much. Everybody in the chat, thank you for watching. We will see you on the next episode of CKMY, 2 weeks' time. Catch you all later.